part. We are missing two, but they should be here in a minute. I think we should just get going. We have Dudley online. Dudley, it's a really amazing story about him and I, but we were on the Appalachian Trail in 2019, and we happened to be at the same camp at the same time as Dudley. And Dudley saw my pack and signs hanging off of it and red lights flashing and everything about the Clean Water Climb. And we got the chance to share all about it. And next thing you know, he started supporting it. And then the next thing you know, he went to Africa and did it last June, I think it was. It was either late June, early July trip for 2024. So he's a veteran, like Michelle and Bill and Sarah are veterans, and myself. So yeah, you have a lot of people that and Dudley wants to go on the second
Right.
trip, and his wife is either going to do a safari while we're hiking, or maybe we can still talk her into Kilimanjaro, because like I said, Dudley, Meru is harder than Kilimanjaro. That's what I've been told, and so
That's what Barb says.
yeah. So if she made it up to the top of Mount Meru, then she probably could do Kilimanjaro. So anyway, just tell her that. And see, they did Meru in 3 days, which was too quick. They should have allowed an extra day. But anyway, I had sent out this email blast, and there's a couple things on there I thought maybe I could highlight before we dive into the meeting. But why don't we open it with a word of prayer first, and we'll get started. Heavenly Father, I just thank you for this beautiful day. Father, we thank you for the rain. We needed the rain that cleans up the air and nourishes the plants. And Father, just thank you for this beautiful day that we can give glory to you. Thank you that you've called us into your kingdom to serve you by serving others. Thank you for this great opportunity to talk about conquering Kilimanjaro for clean water in Malawi. And I just praise you, Lord, for calling me into that, and for calling all these people to want to do it as well. And be with us during our meeting. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Okay. So on the info part, but I mean, Karen and Kent wouldn't know as much about it, but it's like a 3-part trip. I call Prairie, Peak, and Purpose. So Prairie is getting over jet lag, because 8-hour time difference. It's acclimating to the start of the hike. So we literally start at, we sleep at 7,800 feet, which is the start of the 8-day version. So I've got 2 trips. The first trip is the shorter one, where you start higher, but you do some acclimatization the day before on Mount Meru, which we were just talking about. And then so the 8-day hike is total. Maybe it's really 7.5 days. You start after lunch the first day. So the first day is pretty quick. And then we fly down to Malawi, and obviously it's to bring clean water, and ultimately is to bring salvation and the gospel message through the gospel message to the people of Malawi. Bill was on this trip, and that's Bill right there. Remember Bill? Yeah. One of the guys was a little photographer, and he was running all over photography, every little aspect. And all of a sudden, you saw him peek through this. Like there's a building here and a building here, and there's a little causeway. And all of a sudden, you see him there with the camera, and you happen to catch that where we're all praying to receive Jesus as our Savior. So anyway, that's kind of in a nutshell what the trip's about. And I have 2 trips planned: a 16-day trip in July 7th, I believe it is, and we leave. And then it's actually an 18-day trip. I was looking at the dates again. I go, why did I call it 19 days? 18-day. That starts on August 30th. So let me see, was anything else I wanted to say? So we pay for the trip. You don't have to pay anything today, but when you're ready to commit, we need a like a deposit. It's for the safari part of the trip. We just because that's the first part of the trip. So we say, hey, just pay for and then I pay Zara Adventures, who is the guide company that takes us on all the safari part and all the mountain hike part. And your expenses are tax deductible because you're fundraising for a nonprofit. So Clean Water Climb is a 501c3. We just became a 501c3 in late December 2023. I literally hit send after I filled out the IRS form, and nervously, send. And, 12 days later, we were accepted by the IRS to be a 501c3. It was unbelievable, actually, how quick it went. And
What date was that again?
that was December 1st. I hit send, and December 12th, that was the letter was dated, we approve. So it's like, and then the last 6 digits in the EIN, it's got to be a miracle, is my birth date.
What?
And I've told several people that do 501(c)(3s, they don't put your birth date. That's like confidential information. 08/14/51, August 14th, 1951 is literally the last 6 digits of that EIN. So I thought that was a sign from God. It was meant to be. So anyway, that's got a little bit of history there. Now, before we started the Clean Water Climb in 2011, for those who aren't aware of that, after 4 trips to Africa and meeting a guy in the plane that climbed Kilimanjaro, told me it was for a charity, and that's got the wheels turning. That's very fast. You know, at church today, we had a guest interview with a guy named Mike Taylor, and he said your life is kind of defined by moments. Like he literally left the United States to go to England for I don't know how many years now. Was it 20 years? Something like that. And then COVID brought him back. But he went there and then he saw how there's only 2.9% of the people in UK go to church. That it would be considered have a born again, have a relationship with Jesus. And it just melted him. And it took 4 or 5 years of God working on him to finally pull the trigger and go over there and start a ministry to start spreading the gospel in the UK. And they also do it now in the rest of Europe. So it's got 100 missionaries there. I'm diverting, I know, but 100 missionaries in UK and 300 in the rest of Europe that are literally trying to spread the gospel. Matthew 28, go into all the nations and make disciples of all nations and baptize them in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So, and so I would say my life has been defined by moments. The moment that I heard that Jesus died for my sins and I was convicted that I was a sinner, that was a huge moment, right? And then other big moments, getting married, having kids, having grandkids, going to Africa for the first time. So our lives are often defined by key moments that project us into a new trajectory that God wants us to go on. It was very impactful today, that message. So we'll pay for the trip, like all the ZAR expenses and the expenses that we'll have in Malawi by check. Okay, so you'll make payments out to Clean Water Climb Inc. And then we'll make the payments to Zara and we'll bring cash out of those payments that you've made for me. I go to the bank, I tell them, hey, I want all brand new bills because they don't like used bills in most countries, it turns out. And when I go in there and tell them that, I go, yeah, everybody does that. Nobody wants, wrinkled or marked bills in Africa or any other place. Hi, hey, Will, where's your girlfriend?
In Austin.
Oh, she didn't come. Welcome. Okay.
Thanks.
This is Will, a friend of Sarah, and in her spinning class, and Tana over there. They all know each other. So we just got started.
Yeah, I
You're
guess.
wearing clothes.
I guess. We work out.
Hospitable.
I'm not used to that.
There's some,
My hair's down.
there's some history here.
Yeah.
There is.
To bother me. She's trying to teach.
Kind
Good.
of
Just
like
my
you're
head.
trying to do to Mike right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, we pay for all the trip except for the flights with checks made out to Clean Water Climb, which is tax deductible because we're a 501(c)(3. Then I got off on that rabbit hole, so I'm back now. And then eventually you'll get a statement from Clean Water Climb saying that you donated this much to Clean Water Climb. So all your expenses for the trip are tax deductible. Flights will be paid for by credit card, and so we have waivers, and that'll be you'll get a message. I guess does it come from me or does it come from you, Bill? Those waiver notices.
They come from you.
They come from you.
They come from me, but he sends them out. Yeah, so we get your email address, we send the waiver, and you literally can fill it out online. And then there's a part about credit card information that specifically says, don't put anything here. I'm going to call you. And then we get all that information over the phone so that nothing is compromised. We don't want anybody's credit card information floating around out there. And then I call our travel agent, and he books our flights. And so I've been using him since 2009, believe it or not. So he knows exactly the kind of trips we do, and always looks for the best carrier, whether it's Qatar, Turkish, Ethiopian, Emirates, KLM. I mean, we've done the whole gamut. Whatever is the cheapest, it fits our schedule. that gets us to Kilimanjaro, down to Malawi, and back to the US. That's who we end up with using. So we've used all of them. And it just depends on who's offering the best deals for the itinerary that we have. And I don't take any money for leading this trip. I think all of you know that. I've been retired since 2018, self-funded everything. I worked for 5 different oil and gas companies. And always was a 401k rolling over into an IRA every time I either got quit or laid off. And most of the time I was laid off. So, which is a good thing. So, in 2018, I went to my company. I said, and I used up all my vacation plus a week of leave without pay. And I said, can I be on the layoff list? Because I knew they were going to lay people off because they were selling a natural gas asset. And she said, not only is it fair for you to ask, Mike, we'd have surprised you if you didn't. And so go on your 3 Kilimanjaro trips, come back, and obviously without pay, and we'll let you know whether we laid you off or not. So I came back, and here's your severance package. And it was 2 weeks of pay for every year, and I was there almost 20 years, and all those 401ks rolling into IRAs. I mean, I'm just so blessed that I can do this without having to ask people to give me money so I can go on the trip, right? So I'm 74, and I'll be 75 by the time we head to Africa on trip 2. And we never know what our last day of life is, but based on how I feel, if God doesn't intervene, I know I have at least one more year. And before but I better. Oh, okay. My long-term goal is to make it to the summit until I'm 85.
You don't make it, we'll tell you.
So somebody tagged me on a Facebook post, and it was some guy just made it to Everest Base Camp, and he's the oldest one to make it to Everest Base Camp. And he was only 82. I'm thinking that's only 8 years from now. I think that's an attainable goal to shoot for. So I'm going to shoot for that, not because I want to put the spotlight on me, but I want to put the spotlight on the Clean Water Climb. Can you imagine if we could, if that actually happened, and it could, give glory to God, and because it's all about the Clean Water Climb and bringing the hope of the gospel and hope for today through clean water. I mean, I think so. Anyway, that's my other goal.
If everyone here likes you, they can take your urn each time.
There you go.
And you can
break the record as the most times ashes up to the top.
Right.
Something.
And if you get too heavy, we'll just dump the ash.
Yeah, there you go. So these are the 2 trips, 16 days, and now that's a typo. That second one should say 18 days because I looked at the dates. I say this is only 18 days. Why am I saying 19? But anyway, approximate cost for trip 1, which is the shorter one, is $41.05 plus airfare. And I'm just going to say economy about 2,000 because that's about the range. Sometimes it's like 1,800, sometimes it's 2,200. Oil prices have come down a bit, and so Trump's been putting pressure on the Arabs to lower their increase their output or lower their prices. I'm not sure which it is, but maybe we'll see a little better price this year. I don't know. So for that first trip, the safari is literally a half-a-day walking safari in Arusha National Park. It's only an hour drive from the airport, Kilimanjaro Airport, to the park. And so then you have lunch, and then you have a half day walking with a ranger that has a rifle, and it's awesome. And this gives you a chance to start getting over jet lag. And then you overnight at Hatari Lodge, and the next day you do a half day acclimatization hike from 5,200 to 8,200 on Mount Meru. And then you overnight at Mirikamba huts. You prepare for your trek, check all your duffel bags, make sure everything's ready to go. And they pick us up by vehicle because there's literally a road up to Mirikamba huts, and drive us to the start of the Kilimanjaro hike that now is starting higher though than the 8-day trip. The longer trip starts at 7,800. This starts around 12,500, but you've slept at 8,200. And so we did that for the second trip last year. They were flipped. So last year the long one was in July and the short one was in September. This year it's flipped around. And it worked great. Nobody felt ill during those first few days, and so it worked out really great. So this is a good viable option for people that don't quite have 18 days, but they can squeak by with 16 days. So, and then it's a 6-day Kilimanjaro hike. They call it the Shira route, which is really the Lemosha route with the first 2 days cut off, right? So you start higher. You're starting basically like day 3. And the purpose, of course, is the same. We spent 3 days, 3 nights at Child Legacy Sustainability Project, which is you can see a picture of it there later if you want while I'm doing the year talk. And then let's see.
Where am I?
There we go. And so we'll probably do up to 4 wells, and we'll share some Bible stories with the villagers. So part of us will be working on the wells, part of us will be sharing Bible stories, and then the next well we can flip, and everybody gets a chance to do everything. And last year, Barbara, Dudley's wife, didn't get to do the hands-on the well, so we're going to make sure she gets to do that this year because they're returning to do this trip again. So trip 2 is the longer one, August 30th to September 16th. I believe that's right. I may be off on that one day or something. I don't know.
There's something, isn't it your
It-
somebody's birthday?
Jennifer's birthday
Jennifer's
is
birthday.
August 29th. That's why I moved it to the 30th.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
the 30th.
So anyway, approximate cost is about 55.25. Now, both those numbers are about 150 higher than what I've been advertising. And the reason I did that is because we have to stop in Dar es Salaam between Kilimanjaro and Malawi. But we can save that money if we can get a route that literally gets us directly from Kilimanjaro Airport to Lilongwe, which is the capital of Malawi, in one day. It used to be that way. It used to be we always did it in one day, but then COVID changed all the airline schedule. Well, of course, they all shut down and then they came back, and we'll save in both cases if we can get that direct route. We'll save a day and we'll save about $150. But I added $150 in there because we were pulling out credit cards to give to the hotel in Dar, and I thought let's just include it in this so that it becomes part of the tax deductible expense. Trip 2 is about a half a day of a driving safari in Tarangire National Park. It's an awesome national park. We saw millions of elephants this last trip that I just got back from last month. We'll overnight in Tarangire Simba Lodge. It's a beautiful, beautiful lodge, very rustic setting. There's a pond, there's a pool there, swimming pool, and then there's a pond, and all kinds of animals are coming and going at this pond, like elephants sometimes, zebras sometimes. I mean, right there at the lodge. It's incredible.
So what's the name of the lodge?
It's called the Tarangire Simba Lodge.
So it's a new place. It's not where we went.
No, we didn't go to Tarangire. I've added that in because it's just it's a nice variety to the trip.
Okay.
And then we drive over to Gorogoro and we go down into the crater and we'll spend a half a day driving around in there. Hopefully we'll see lions. Oh, so this last trip I just got back from, it was amazing. It was the first time ever I've seen the big 5 in one day, which means including a rhino and a leopard.
Stop.
And the leopard was the first time the rangers had seen one in 2 years. And so we were driving along. I guess our guide, our safari guide, was communicating, hearing things, and so he knew where to go. And sure enough, first of all, we see this gazelle hanging in the tree, half gone, and half eaten, and then we're looking through. So and then we hear that there's a leopard there. And we just can't see this thing. Well, he blended in so well. There was a horizontal branch on this big old tree. The gazelle was hanging here, and there's a horizontal branch over here, and here was the leopard laying there. And then every once in a while, he or she would get up and go over to the gazelle and then walk back. And I don't know, it was pretty far away, but we still got a few pictures. And then we're talking to this ranger. So there was a ranger nearby. And we said, we come here every year, and he was kind of impressed with that. And we got to talking more and more, and then we told him about Kilimanjaro and clean water, and he said, I have something I can take you to. He said, we just brought in 15 white rhinos, imported them from another park because they don't have white rhinos in Gorogoro. And he said, I can show them to you, but you can't advertise this on, it's not well known yet on social media and stuff like that. And so he literally took us over, and in a gigantic pen. I mean, you could hardly tell they were even in a pen, but here was 15 white rhinos.
Wow.
So, and those are the rarest 2 to see of the big 5. The other ones are lion, elephant, and Cape buffalo. I mean, you're always going to see elephants and Cape buffalo. You usually see lions. I think we've seen lions every year in Gorogoro Crater, actually. And then so we'll spend a half a day in the crater. And then we'll overnight at this lodge called Malia Lodge. Now, there used to be one called Soba Lodge. I hope it reopens. It's been closed for like 2 or 3 years. I don't know what's going on. It's got a fantastic view. You remember.
Yeah.
You 3 remember anyway.
I like a little bit.
But anyway, so if not, we'll be at Malia Lodge, which is really nice. It's not quite as rustic as the Tarangire Simba Lodge, which a lot of people really liked. And then that morning we'll drive around the rim a little ways, and then we'll do an acclimatization hike along the rim of Gorogoro Crater that gets you over 8,000 feet. Then we'll drive to Moshi. That's kind of it's a town or a city about maybe 100,000 people, and it's where a lot of the guide companies are located, including Zara. And so we'll stay at their Springlands Hotel. We'll overnight there. We'll prep for the trek, and then in the morning we take off for the trek. It's about, I don't know, 2 or 3 hour drive. Have lunch near the starting point, and then we have a half day hike, and then it's 8 days total on the mountain. And then the purpose part's going to be exactly the same as the other one, right? So that's kind of the quick quick overview of the two trips. I think most of you know all that stuff now. In my email, there was all this about. Then I say this about if we can get to Malawi in 1 day, we're going to save a day. We're going to save $150. And then there in my email, if you still have it, I talk a little bit about why Kilimanjaro. Why do people go there? What's so fascinating about it? It's one of the 7 summits and so forth. I'm not going to spend a lot of time going on this, but I'll just want to show you that. So let me minimize that, and then I want to so everybody take one of these and pass it around. It's
Also, before you leave today, you must sign your information.
oh yeah, thank you.
Onto here.
Tana was the first one to show up today, so it's punishment. I told her to make sure everybody signs which trip they're going
Well,
on.
mean we have to take a spinning class?
You can take one of these and pass it.
Maybe.
So these heavy duty cars are good to share with your friends if they're thinking about if you haven't get a conversation about it, you can show them. Let me have one of those.
No.
Yeah, thank you. So on one side is again the Prairie Peak and Purpose. Now there's a cheetah instead of a lion in this particular composition.
Empty, man.
Pardon? They are empty. You're
Yours is empty.
You're gonna be filling it up as we go.
Full of information.
So this card here, and Dudley, I don't have a PDF. Alpha Graphics did this for me, but I'm gonna ask them to send me a PDF of this. So on one side is kind of the basic Prairie Peak Purpose, and on the back side is like for the 8-day hike. These are like some fun photos I've taken for each of the 8 days. And so if you're doing the 6-day hike, these would be what you would see. These 6 right here, and then there's also a map of Malawi. Here's our crew. Here's our well-repaired crew right there. Here's bad water that they're scooping out of the ground. Here's some rejoicing. Here's some rejoicing. In fact, it was this trip here where these kids from the school, that was the trip, it was 2010 when I was flying back and met the guy on the plane about Kilimanjaro. So the map shows all the wells that have been repaired by Child Legacy since we began. And then down below is a map of the project that we'll be staying at in Malawi. And you can see it's over 500 acres now. They have 30,000 macadamia trees, 15,000 coffee plants, a huge medical complex. They just got a NICU. Somebody donated $500,000 and they have a NICU there now. So it's amazing. And the goal is to become completely self-sustainable using the agriculture and the aquaculture to pay for all the medical. So anyway,
Completely solar,
but
completely solar.
yeah, and it's completely solar, so the energy is already self-sufficient. They just changed out the lead acid batteries with all lithium batteries now. So those can be drained all the way down and charged all the way back up. And they also have 2 windmills that still work. So anyway, I just wanted to, you can have that as just as something to show and tell people when you're talking about this.
You have something on the topographical kind of thing, like what you're showing there, like how it's, I just want to know the
Right.
distance.
Right.
And I also want to know as far as elevation.
Yeah.
If there's something that shows that at all, just each day or whatever else.
Right.
Just so I know.
I probably do. I'll have to dig it up and I'll send it.
There was like a profile.
Yeah.
Right, it was.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
There was something I showed you before?
Yes, yeah. it
Okay.
was.
So.
And you had an idea as far as the days, like you said, okay,
Yeah.
first day of the day 8
Right.
travels, this
Right.
and this. And I remember one day it was down actually.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, I can describe it pretty quickly, but then I can also, I'll try to find.
That'll last about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Keeping it real.
Let me see if I can find something in this folder.
Yeah, but you did have something. I remember seeing something.
I'm trying to remember what I showed you guys. I just sign up.
Well,
Cause I remember like the last night, you know, we got up at midnight and hiked to the top.
Yeah.
And no one ever said how far, and later I'm like, how far? They're
It's
like,
about 4 miles.
Yeah, well, he said
Yeah.
like 3.5, 4, they're not like, now, I wish I would have known that because
Right,
3 miles doesn't seem like that much, you know, but like when you're hiking all
Uphill.
night,
I'll have
you
to
know,
dig
straight
that
up to see,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're at
35
feet.
Yeah, and you can just see, it's dark, but all the lights, everybody has it.
It's literally 1,000 feet. So
Yeah,
like,
and we were just
I
stopped.
just got cracked up. This guy stopped me today he just finished and he goes, well, come here, I want to show you something. He was videoing his wife in front of him, she's going,
we could be.
he goes, it's that for him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, cause you think, you know, you're starting at midnight and sunrise was like
Yeah.
6:30.
Yeah,
7 hours later, yeah. But it was awesome. God, big crowd.
Yeah, because I remember I kissed the ground, he's like, I tell her that's how it's off.
It's well worth it. Good.
Cause I thought.
I'm gonna look just a couple more minutes here. If I don't find it,
he's asking us to print like a typewriter.
we'll definitely find it. I'll pull it up on the internet.
Right.
Yeah.
Sheila was really asking, she really.
Okay, okay, I got you.
Well,
I just don't know what it's called. I mean, it could be called elevation profile, but. The,
Just sort of thinking I was gonna be so cold and then it ended up being hot. Was that? Because the effort?
Yeah, you're.
Or the temperature of both, yeah.
I mean, it's cold, but.
But yeah, when sun's out, if it's sun's shining and you're working, you're walking uphill.
Right, with
It's,
paps
you're
on.
burning a lot of calories.
you'll sweat at least the
Yeah.
second day for sure.
I
And
think
you have no
it gets
idea
pretty
what
close to
food
0 at night.
What'd you say?
You have no idea what food you're eating, which drove me crazy because I'm such a plan. eater.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like knowing that I don't know.
A lot of soup.
Yeah.
Better not miss it sometimes.
Cucumber soup.
Oh,
Lettuce.
no, I don't like
lettuce.
cucumbers. If I don't
And
like
lettuce.
cucumbers, am I gonna do terrible?
No, no.
Like, just
Something
something
about
Grasshoppers in the desert.
Somewhere in the jungle.
We had fried chicken like the
Yeah.
last night.
Is this being filmed?
And it was so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you didn't fix your
Yeah,
hair? What happened?
Are we,
I'm looking.
There's one.
Well, there's the routes, but, okay, this is elevation profiles, but it's so small.
So familiar.
Um,
Oh my god.
You can
Oh, wait.
download.
Yeah, here we
that
go.
looks like, yeah.
Yeah, so, here's the Londerosa Gate. First night is right here. It's called Miti Makubwa Camp. It's Big Tree, it's called. So there's a little down, as you can see, but then eventually you're up here.
Did he expand it out? Mike?
What?
Expand it out. It's real small. Should be able to do the
I mean, that's a
command plus.
Oh, I got you. Okay, let's try that.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
This is why you got invited.
Technology.
Okay, so here's you can see the elevation. We start around 7750 or so, Londerosa Gate. And actually that's the Londerosa Gate is
Yeah,
different
good
than the
idea.
Mosho gate. So this is kind of where let me get my thing out of the way. All right.
Yeah, I mean, great.
So Miti Makubo camp around 9,500. Then this is a hard day. I think it's the second hardest day from going from Miti Makubo to Shira One because it's almost all up, not a lot of down. But then this day is I think it's quite a bit easier than day 2. So day 3 you're going from Shira One to Moor Hut at 13,800. So you're going up pretty high, 2,200 feet. But this day you go up 2,000 and you're more exposed. It seems like I don't know what it is, but it just seems like this is a harder day than the Moor Hut day. See, maybe it's because it's not as many miles. So that's mile 9, and then the next day, you're going 7 miles, but so it's more gradual. So compared to 5 miles, 2,000 feet in 5 miles versus 2,200 feet in 7 miles. You can see the grade is a lot less on day 3.
And what's the total mileage, by the way?
43.
43?
Yeah,
Okay.
43. And then Moor Hut, you go quite a bit, some down and then up to Lava Tower. We have lunch there. and then you end up at Barranco Camp. So Barranco Camp, which is at 13,044, is actually 800 feet less than where you slept the night before. So that's really good acclimatization to go up really high over 15,000 feet and then down to 15.
That's when you were above the clouds.
Yeah, you're above the clouds.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you go to Karanga Camp, and you can see it's almost the same elevation. There's a lot of up and down, and eventually you end up at only 100 feet higher than Barranco Camp. And then Barafu Camp, we don't do Barafu Camp. We go a little higher to Kosovo Camp because that's 700 or 800 feet less. You have to go that night, and then you can see about how steep it is going to Uhuru Peak. So that's the steep part. That's the hard part. Hardest part of the hike for sure. I think this is second on the second day to me. Some people think, oh, going up to Lava Tower and then back down to I don't think it's hard. And the reason is I think you're so fascinated by the vegetation and everything that you start seeing between Lava Tower and Barranco Camp. This is spectacular. And then from Uhuru Peak, you basically go back down to where you slept the night before so imagine here's Barafu. It's kind of covered up by that label, but Barafu would be over here. Well, Kosovo is up there. So you go back to Kosovo and then you go out a different way. You don't go this way out. You go a completely different way. There's a Millennium Camp. They don't show that on here. It's around 12.5. And then you go past Moeka Camp that next day, and then this is all rainforest from Moeka Camp down to Moeka Gate. So that's it's gorgeous. You'll see monkeys. It's a good chance we see monkeys the first day and maybe the morning of the second day. But anyway, that's a good, and that's what it looks like. So you see, you start way over here on the west. Those are the camps: Moor Hut, Lava Tower, Barranco Camp, Karanga Camp, and then again, they don't show it on here. I'm sorry, Karanga Camp. Then you go up to the top, go back down, but then from this point on, it's all new. You don't repeat any of this. So, which I really like about the hike is that it's not a lot of repeat. You're seeing something new every day. Okay. Let me minimize that. Okay, was there anything else I wanted to show? Let's see, that was that. The email blast. Was there anything else? Okay, so anyway, that in the email blast doesn't have the profiles, but it has at least the map of where we're going. Okay, that's all I want to say on that. And now I want to pass out this. So this is kind of an agenda. We've already kind of touched on some of that already, but we'll dive into it here. Let's see. So this is what we're looking at, Dudley, on the screen. So we've already kind of welcomed each other, but maybe everybody should say just one quick 1 or 2 sentences about yourself. Maybe it has to do with you're married or not, or you have kids or not, or why you're here. Amy.
I'm Amy Micken, and I'm here because Mike hurt some part of his body, his calf, somewhere, and came to check out with me at Sterling Ridge Orthopedics, where everyone should go if you have any orthopedic problems. Just call 1-800. No, but through a series of conversations where God is doing things in my life, and Mike could tell us that there was a connection. He offered to pray for me. It's on his all over, but where he told me just in passing about this, and I'm like, ooh, I love mission trips. I could do this, and where we've just become friends. And with Jennifer and Mike, I've gone back to church and many good things. But yeah, I would love to go, not this summer, but possibly 27.
Too.
Yeah, the long trip in 27, when God has done more things in my marriage to where I'm okay to leave for maybe
That long.
prayer.
Well,
Maybe my husband would actually go with me.
yeah, that'd be good.
Would be amazing. So, and you do need someone hilarious like me.
Yeah, she's like the funniest person I've ever met.
I'm the funniest person I know. So anyway,
Sings and plays.
that
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Kent and Karen.
Kent and Karen,
Yeah.
I'll speak a little bit for me, and then she'll take over. I'm here because she gets to talk to you on reading at church.
Yeah.
And Karen and I have been married 41 years,
amazing.
and just put it with me that long. the great marriage. And so I think about retiring. I'm retired right now. I'm just kind of looking for something to keep me busy.
Sure.
So I'm not so I may have to go embrace full retirement. So
Well, can I interject something?
what's that?
Can I interject something?
Yes.
In about 2016 or 17, I went to Jason Shepard. I had a meeting with him and I said, how do you know when it's time to retire? And he said, God's not going to write it in the sky. He's just going to trust you, but you're perfectly positioned to retire because you're already doing this clean water client thing. You know, you're just going to keep doing that. It's not going to, so he said, it's very important to find something to spend your time doing. So yeah, you definitely want to do that. You don't want to just retire and then have nothing. So
Have nothing to do.
yeah, so I think going on this trip might be very valuable for you. Might give you some ideas about what you want to do. No,
Like I said, we spoke earlier. About 10 years ago, I drilled a well with
living water.
Mm.
Okay.
and did the second picture. When the well's in and
Yeah.
and you start pumping on it and then
Right.
it comes out.
Yeah.
It was an interesting thing from that trip. There was the guy that was in charge of actually drilling the wells. And I had a bottle of water and he said, here, let me show you something. And he took my bottle of water and he had a little tester
Yeah.
for the purity of the water. And he tested it and it came out and I forget what the number was. And then he tested the water that was coming out of the well.
Yeah. It was good.
It's cleaner than that.
Oh wow.
I mean, it was mind blowing that it was like, I mean, this one was like I don't know, like an 80 or something like that. And what was coming out of the well was like a 40.
Oh.
And it was just
Interesting.
the water that those kids are playing with
Yeah.
is actually cleaner than what we were drinking.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was, and we pulled water from 90 feet down.
Mm.
It's
Central America, South America, where was it?
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So it was
Okay, Karen, married a long time.
Can't even remember how many years.
Two girls, we got 5 grandkids. And one daughter's here in the Woodlands, one's in Pearland, so we're near Cyprus, so that's like a great halfway point. But I taught 6th grade world cultures, and it was like going across the world for the year with the kids. And one of the places was Mount Kilimanjaro, and I was like, I would love to go there. It looked great. So
Yep. Here
and
we
we
are.
met the whole way.
Bumped into each other in
To each
the
other.
lobby
It's like,
one
oh,
day.
God talking to me.
So.
Yeah.
I'm Tana. I am not married. I have no kids. I am part of.
Are you
I'm not. So I. People ask me that a lot. So
You don't have a boyfriend. No, you got.
You want one?
You don't? You don't? Did you tell, who did you tell that story? No.
There could be a love connection today.
go anymore.
It's nice gonna give them exposed everyone.
The meeting takes a strange turn.
Sorry.
Anyway, that's my story.
But how did you end up here?
I got introduced to Mike through Sarah. I got introduced to Sarah through our church of cycling. And now I'm here.
Yep.
And then I met Mike and his wife at Olive Oil.
Yep.
And I worked at I'm a PA. So I worked at a gynecology oncology practice with a mutual friend who's from Malawi. I was like, okay.
What?
Yeah. Kind of crazy.
You know Amy?
Yeah, but she said she was working for, I'm like, Annie. That's so bizarre.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I mean, you might be reluctant after the weird turn this conversation
Yes.
took, but could you share your last name?
Oh, yeah, I'm reluctant. No, just kidding.
Myth.
Bayon.
Bayon.
Bay.
Bayon.
Not like crayon with a B.
Ah.
B-A-Y.
Vaillon.
Take it away, Will.
I'm here mostly because of Sarah.
Yeah.
So Sarah mentioned it and she said she'd pay my way.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Can you pay my way too, since I'm leading the trip?
You said that, right?
Clean up scholarship program.
No, anyway, I'm a big traveler. I travel a lot anyway, and so I've never been to Africa, and I enjoy hiking. And so this kind of fits the bill. I'm self-employed, so I can take time off when I want to.
Nice.
So
Oh, that's
great
great.
deal. So very interested in doing it. And then my good friend Alan Rodewald, and we've traveled a bunch of different places together. He's also very interested. He'll be coming, and my girlfriend Sheila is really very nervous about coming. She's excited but nervous. Yeah, she's like, oh, would you guys cycle and you're in great shape, and I'm not doing that much. So she's committed to train for the next
She's
year.
got plenty of time to.
Yeah,
train
yeah,
for
so
this.
she's, so she's starting to go up and down her stairs with her weights and stuff like that, and so
Good.
hike a little bit more,
Awesome.
and so, but she's excited, she's a trooper, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, but Sarah's the reason, really.
Yeah. Good job, Sarah.
What's your-
Recruiting all these people.
Henderson.
Thank you.
Stephanie.
Everyone, my name is Stephanie Clark. This will be my second information meeting with Clean Water Climb, and I met Mike at NM3
Yeah.
conference several years back and got acquainted, went through the booth when we did the breakout groups, and came across his table, and just kind of fell in love when I heard the vision. He was talking about the purpose, the peak and prairie. And I was kind of standing there, and a friend was standing with me, and we were in conference, and I said, wow, that's like way cool that they do that. And she said, yeah, you should go sign up. And I said, well, no, I mean, that's like Kilimanjaro, you know.
Right.
And then I said, yeah, it's like Kilimanjaro, you know. And then just like the whole meeting, it's mobile missions. And so it's all about bringing the gospel throughout the world. And I just thought, how cool is this to be able to tie, mission trip into something like a hike. And I always wanted to like drill a well or do a repair. So when he told me that that was even included with the clean water, I just fell in love with the vision. And he just like spilled everything out. It was just like so easy. He's like, oh, you could do this. Da, da, da. And so the last information meeting when I came, I was like, okay, using it to gathering the information. But this time around, I told Mike, I wasn't going to be here, but I was going to join by Zoom because I was scheduled to be out of state. But I was able to be here in person because of changes in my schedule. And so I said, yeah, no, I'm feeling like this is the year that this is actually where it happens. So I'm happy to be here, and all of you got some great stories. I'm glad you shared about the fear of your girlfriend, because I was like, man, I don't know what I committed to. I got to start with workout and training. So it's good to know.
Bill?
I'm Bill. I became a Christian this morning, so.
Again.
Need Sunday school class. And went in 2018.
Yeah.
And
But we met at
Southwestern Energy.
Southwestern Energy.
He could annoyingly kept telling me to go to the Bible study class. And then, of course, he handed it over to me.
That's why.
Yeah. And we were actually at Karunga, wasn't it? That we got the message that they were laying us all
Yeah,
off.
yeah, yeah,
So I
correct,
didn't
yeah.
know if I had a job when I got there. And,
Hilarious.
yeah, it's just it's an awesome trip. Michelle went after me.
Sarah.
Yeah, I was just saying, Michelle.
Okay, Michelle first.
Oh, yeah, my wife, Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle.
Oh, I'm Michelle. I'm the other half. That guy. I went in 2019. Climbed Kili, went to Malawi, went back to Malawi in 2023. That was wonderful. And I just came back Wednesday from the first China.
So amazing.
Wow. I'm floating on air right now from really
Jet
great.
lag.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
How many days was that?
It was
12 days, 14 days?
She's like, I can't remember.
15 days.
Yeah.
What is?
10 days in China, but it's like we had like 5 days of flying.
We
Lord have
basically
mercy.
circumnavigated the globe.
What?
We entered from Beijing, we left out of Kunming to Bangkok. Spent a night and a day in Bangkok and then went Bangkok to Istanbul, Istanbul back to Houston.
Can I just interject a question? Do you do CWC Malawi, Kilimanjaro? Someone else, are those other people, is that all under you as well?
Well, it's
How
all part
big
of
of a
the time,
boss
but
are you?
I look for volunteers that are willing to step forward and lead a trip, right? And so we had a couple in our church.
Nell and Jerry.
Jerry and Nell Sagehorn that got connected to a missionary that our church supports who has a tourism business in China.
Amazing.
And he's obviously taken people all over China, but never a group like us from America. This was the first. And so they did the Great Wall and they did some 15,000-foot mountain. I don't remember what it was, but I haven't seen
Snow Dragon Mountain.
Snow Dragon Mountain.
We started off in the east and then we ended up in the west, and the western side was the most beautiful side, I thought. Just an absolutely wonderful southern foothills of the Himalayas. So we got a really good taste.
Wow.
Yeah, so beautiful.
Cool.
Sarah.
So my husband, been married 28 years and he doesn't travel, has back issues, but he started giving to Living Water and then went to Child Legacy. And so our oldest daughter, which I think is kind of interesting, she was in high school. We sent her off with a group and she came back and she said, Mom, that was life changing.
Mm.
And then, so our 10-year-old, I went with my sister in 2014 and we just went over, we did safari, did a mission, did water well. And they were like, oh, Mike Nabolia is leading these climbs to Kilimanjaro. We're like, no way. And then in 2019, so when she was my daughter was 17, my youngest daughter was 17, the two of us did it together. So
That's awesome.
doing this climb is one thing, doing it with like somebody that a friend or a child or a spouse, I think it's priceless. It just makes it that much more interesting. So in 2019 we climbed, and I think my husband kept saying she's not old enough, she's only 17, let's wait a year, but we wouldn't have been able to go. It would have been the next year.
She was great.
She would have, with COVID and everything. So definitely worth it. Every penny, every cent.
Yeah, I took my daughter the second time, 2012, and then I took a nephew in 2014, and then a grandson in 2018, and then him and his older brother, so two grandsons in 2021. So I've taken quite a few family members too. So it's it's great to do something like that with a family member.
Sarah, what's your last name?
BINAU, BINAU.
Okay, so we've talked about ourselves. We did an opening prayer earlier. I'd like to go dive.
Did you hit that Dudley talk?
Oh, Dudley, tell us about yourself. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I raised my hand. I thought did you skip me? So my name is Dudley White. My wife is Barb. We did the trip last year with Mike and well, you said like June, July, I guess it was. I retired from intelligence community, a private contractor, working for the big three, CIA, NSA, NRO, and all that. And 5 days later, I was hiking the Appalachian Trail. I hiked the northern part in 2018. I hiked the southern part in 2019. That's when I met Mike in the Smokies. He was working with his crew, doing a training hike at that time. So, last year I ended up hiking across Spain on the El Camino de Santiago and earlier, and then I did the hike with Mike in June, July. This coming year, I'll be hiking across France in April, about a 30-day hike, 750 kilometers, and then planning on doing Kilimanjaro in September. And we're trying to talk Barb into doing Kilimanjaro with us, although she said she'll do Little Meru, but she won't do Meru again. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay, that's amazing. We met on the Appalachian Trail and then he goes to Kilimanjaro. So I'm going to dive right into gear because I think somebody said they might have to leave early. Who was it?
Me.
Yeah, okay. So what time is it? 3:00. Okay, what time do you have to leave?
3:30.
3:05.
Okay, we're going to do equipment.
Time.
And Bill's going to take the other phone and follow me as I'm talking about it. And I'm going to pass this out to there's a video that I made called 17 Secrets to Successfully Summit. And the link's down here. And so I'll send this out also so you can just click on it. But that's just for your reading pleasure. And then this is the gear list. So take one of these. The gear list, and we're going to go over that now. Well, let me have one of those. Okay, so we're gonna move over here, so everybody kind of stand up and,
But the print be a little smaller next time, sir.
yeah, I know, I'm sorry about that. I really do need to revise this thing and make it a little bit easier to read. It's probably, you know, a page document instead of a 2-page document.
So the first commitment check is how much?
1900.
I think it was in the, was it in my
It's 1900.
1900 for trip, for the long trip? Yeah. And for the short trip, it was, where is my, maybe it's in here. 760 for the first trip, the short trip, and 1900 for the second. Okay, you know, as soon as you want to, give me a check, and we'll go from there. That'll sign you up, and then you'll get a waiver. Okay, so I got this Kilimanjaro equipment list here, and on the first side, it's a need to have. You know, we strongly consider need to have. The second side is nice to have and consider to have. You know, there's kind of a back and forth on some of this, like, okay, maybe it's better to put that in nice to have, and maybe it's better to put that in consider to have. And then the second page are some things you can rent from Zara. So, like, if you don't want to go out and buy a expensive sleeping bag, you can rent one for $40. Now, the items in yellow are the things I would say are you should probably consider if you want to rent. I wouldn't rent some of that other stuff. Like, and even then, I would say on the hiking poles, you know, trekking poles, just make sure they lock. Like when you tighten down, they stay. Because sometimes we've had people rent them and they don't stay, and then they're constantly fussing with them. Okay, so I'm going to organize. You know, I just told you need to have, nice to have, consider to have. But I'm going to just talk about this in a different way. I'm going to talk. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about, okay, what do you want to have while you're hiking? Okay, what do you want to have in camp? And what do you need on the final summit night? Okay, it's a whole nother, you know, ball game on summit night. So let's talk about, and some of this is need to have, and some of it's nice to have, some of it's to consider to have. Well, let's talk about what you absolutely do need to have, and that's trekking poles, a day pack, a hat, a wide brimmed hat. Don't get a baseball cap because that doesn't protect you from the sun. I've had people get severe headaches because they wore a baseball cap, they didn't wear the wide brim, and they had to go down. So this is all based on experience with people, you know, failing to make it to the top. And okay,
Like a true safari hat.
yeah, a safari hat would be good, wide brimmed. Yeah, and even if you have, you know, some of these hats, they have like a thing that goes down on your neck, which would be great. Yeah. So, and then for the first 3 days, I'm in shorts and short sleeve shirt. Now, when I say first 3 days, I'm talking about a day, the longer trip, right? And then underwear and a t-shirt, and everything's 100% polyester. I don't go with anything cotton. I mean, you could wear some, was it merino or something like that? What's that? That really merino wool. I hear that stuff is really good, and it doesn't itch like normal wool. You know, I've never had any myself. And then on day 4, 5, and 6, I'm switching to long sleeves and long pants, regular long pants. And these are again 100% polyester. And the other thing you're going to need is sunglasses. So I've got some sunglasses in here. Again, these are need to have things. And then when it comes to, you know, nice to have, I would put some TP in your pack. You know, you don't need a huge roll like this, but you know, you never know. You know, they have porta potties in camp for us. They literally bring a porta potty for us to use, and it's very convenient and it's very clean. They keep it very clean. So there's always TP in there. But on the trail, just in case you want to have that, I would always bring some Kleenex. It's dusty on the trip, and so I tend to start having some sinus issues. So I'm going through packs of these like a day myself. I'll always have some snacks with me. I mean, I'll literally fill this whole thing up with all kinds of my favorite things like M&Ms, Reese's Pieces, and nuts. You know, cashews, macadamia nuts, all my favorite stuff that I shouldn't be snacking on when I'm at home. I'll mix it up and this will be enough for the whole trip. And then maybe I'll have something a little smaller than this that I'll have with me in my little fanny pack. Again, not required, but a fanny pack is handy for, sanitary wipes, your cell phone maybe, and your snacks. That way it's handy. You don't have to worry about it being in your pack and having to stop and open up your pack and get stuff out. I always have a fanny pack with me, even though maybe it not look too cool, right? So, my grandsons, when they went, they never wore it around their fanny. They always had it draped over like this, like it was like a purse or something. I don't know. A belt is handy, I mean, if you think your pants are gonna stay up without a belt, fine, but I always wear a belt. Neck gaiter, this is really good if you don't wear glasses. However, if you wear glasses, they just steam up and it drives me crazy. But, you just wear it over your neck and you pull it up over your nose and your mouth, but then my glasses steam up and I can't enjoy the beauty around me. So I bring it with me, but I never use it. It doesn't weigh much, right? It's hardly anything. I will have a Garmin with me. I'll text Jennifer every day. Hey, we made it to camp, everybody's fine, or hey, so-and-so not feeling too well, pray for them, and then, everything.
That's for a signal? Is that what you?
Yeah, it's hooked up to satellite. So yeah, it's really handy for that. And you just make sure you have to have it out. But sometimes it works actually in the tent, even with the cover. But it's better to have it outside to be able to send and receive.
That's a pre-programmed message you should put in there.
No, I just type a message and say, hey, we made it to Camp 3 today. Yeah.
You can do it through your phone.
And you can do, I think you can do it through your phone. There's an
Yeah.
app that's
Yeah.
connected.
You
to it.
Bluetooth it and just be sitting in your tent.
Yeah.
Clean.
The other thing,
Outside.
Wow.
the other thing you absolutely have to have each day of the hike is water. And I recommend a 3 liter, this is a Camelback. There are other types of water bladders you can get. And so anyway, they'll fill this up. The first day we'll buy some water at Zara's Springlands Hotel, enough for the day. And but the rest of the trip, they go out and they collect the water and then they sterilize it and filter it, and it's good to drink. Never had a problem with it. It's also, some people would prefer water bottles, but the advantage of this is it's so convenient. You can suck on the water anytime you want. You don't have to stop or anything. The advantage of this is you can see how much is left. You can't see how much is left in here. So I've settled on this. This is what I use, but I also bring a couple of these because on summit night, there's no water at the final base camp. And so literally the camp before, at Karenga camp, they say, if you have any water bottles, extra water bottles, give them to us, and we're gonna fill them up and they'll carry them up to the final base camp, and then they'll take them up on the hike. And they'll pack them upside down like this because the water will freeze. And if you have it like this, then it's frozen here at the top, right? Water will freeze from the top going down. But if you store it upside down like this in your pack, if you are using water bottles instead of that, or they're using it, they'll store it like this, and then you turn it over and you got water to drink.
Put the Camelback in your day pack?
Yeah, the Camelback goes in the day pack. Another thing that's really nice to have is one of these Lucy's. So you open that up and you blow it up, and it's like a lantern. And I'll just show you without having to open it. But
Those are set.
so it's got 3 settings. And it lights up your entire tent. Now, if you have a spotlight on, you can only see what your spotlight's looking at. This is really handy for lighting up your tent. The 4th setting flashes, and I don't know why you'd want that unless it's some kind of emergency or something.
And is it one person per tent?
Yeah, it's the charge is the charge. It's 2 people per tent, but if you want your own tent, then it's an extra $50. Yeah, so like if you have 2 people that say, "Oh, we want our own tent," then each pays $50 for a total of $100.
In case you don't feel like spooning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's,
Yeah.
so just to let everybody know, sleeping arrangements, like my daughter and I, our 2 sleeping bags were right there, like
On
that
top
was.
of each other.
Yeah, no, cause I remember one time I was
Yeah.
getting up to go to the bathroom, I stepped and I tripped and I like fell right on
Yeah.
so I'm just saying it's really close.
Well, I always get my own tent because I have lots of extra stuff like banners and things, and so I end up with 2 duffel bags. And most of the time, if you can get all your stuff down to 35 pounds, that's the limit. If you go over a couple pounds, it's not a big deal. But you want to have no more than maybe 37 pounds in your duffel bag, which is gonna include your sleeping bag and all that kind of stuff. And extra clothes and all that, so it does add up, and how many snacks you have, I mean, snacks are heavy. So let's see, what else do I wanna say?
One more thing.
Yeah, please, yeah, interrupt anytime.
Because at the hotel, they actually weigh, like you have your backpack, but somebody else is carrying it, so they weigh it, there's the scales right
Your
there.
duffel, yeah.
And yeah, so we were a little over, and so Michelle and I, we split, cause you can get an extra Sherpa.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
So if it's kind of nice because you can get a couple people, you're like, well, we each have something extra.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna take
$100 for the entire trip for an extra porter. So, I mean, it's nothing, right? And you're employing another person, so that another
Yeah.
person gets a job, and
Yeah.
you got a job, so.
Stuff.
Again, I'll always have two
You don't think
duffels,
you're-
and because I bring extra stuff, I have a DSLR, I'll be bringing this on the trip. And batteries are heavy, and you can't charge batteries while you're on the hike. So trying to think what else.
What do you keep in the day pack during the day when you're hiking?
Okay, so this is where the camelback goes,
Right.
the water bladder.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that they really want you to have, even though we go during the dry season, and I think I've literally taken a rain jacket in 19 climbs one time out of the back. But they insist that we have this rain jacket in there, so that's one of the things. Your water is fairly heavy.
And that's waterproof, right?
Yes, it's waterproof, yeah.
What is it made of? What do you, is that, in fact, Vortex, or is it, Just curious.
Yeah.
REI.
This is the REI,
Yeah, but what's it made of? What's the material?
good question. If it's a rain jacket, it should be.
Yeah.
I'm
Some of them,
guessing nylon.
Yeah, because some of them are, water resistant,
Yeah,
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 wet,
yeah.
other ones are, waterproof.
Recycled nylon,
Nice.
tricot, what's tricot?
Oh, here's a project for me.
Yeah, so, anyway,
Ready to leave.
I would say,
Ready
when
to
it's
leave.
when it's time to buy stuff, I would, if you go to REI, there's a couple of them in the Houston area. Just tell them you need a rainproof jacket, again, the chances of you pulling it out and actually using it is 1 in 19. Based on my experience.
But we have all this time to find this deal, like surely
Yeah,
that's
oh
gonna
yeah,
be.
lots of
Watching
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see the prices that I paid, but
I know.
I would ignore all of that. Okay, so very important is your hiking boots. Make sure they're one size bigger than your normal. What do you do to your foot? I just noticed it.
I did that since
I got really mad at him one cycle class.
You look at Tana, seems like she's like calm and put together.
Yeah.
No.
Put her in cycling class and that girl was an animal. Actually, I had a hammer toe.
Oh.
So they had to.
Oh, a little surgery.
Well, yeah, they
Okay.
got a quarter inch out of the bone.
Okay.
And then
Nice.
put a screw through it
Wow.
More information.
Last Friday.
Yeah.
last Friday.
Oh my gosh, just recently.
Yeah.
So anyway, I go with what I've been using Vast Breeze ever since I started, because somebody told me that what they did and to that. In fact, I got really good information from a guy that he was a contractor in the oil and gas business, and we would lease seismic data through his data bank. And he told me one day he did Kilimanjaro, and that was like years before I started it. And then I remembered that. And I went to him, I said, "What do I need to do this? I don't have any idea. I don't know anybody but you that's done Kilimanjaro." So he recommended Vast Breeze, but there are other very good brands.
That's a brand best.
Yeah, Basque, and the style or the model, I guess, is Breeze. But they're waterproof, and they're a size bigger than what I normally wear, because you want room for your toes when you're going down. Otherwise, you're gonna get black and blue toenails.
Yeah.
And I've had that happen a few times. And I always wear, speaking of underwear and t-shirts and socks, I have a new one every day. I don't wash any of my stuff on the trip, so that's one of the reasons why I have 2 duffel bags, right? But I always wear liner socks. Some people hate liner socks, but I love them. So liner socks and I use Smart Wool. So these are all Smart Wools. There's 3 different sizes that I use. First 3 days will be kind of the medium weight, and then and these I considered like a almost I don't know what you call it. It's a little heavier, and then these are the heaviest ones they make. And so 3 days of this, 3 days of this, and some at night, and coming all the way down, I use this. Give you extra padding, again, to protect your toes, and also for warmth. And going up, for sure, it's for warmth. Going down, it's to protect your toes a little bit extra. So anyway, I wear size 9 normally, these are size 10s. So I'll have 3 of these, and 2 of those, and I'll have 8 of these liner socks.
So the liner is just to go between your foot and the sock.
Yeah, yeah, it's like a little thin sock, and I think it helps with sweat and stuff like that. I'm not sure what the purpose of it is, but he suggested, and I've been using it ever since, and I've never gotten a blister. That's the, and then, yeah, very important, make sure you break these things in really well before you go, because you don't want to get blisters. And I know people that have, massive blisters because they didn't break their boots in, or maybe it was partly they didn't get the bigger size, I'm not sure, but they had a real problem with it. So I've always told people exercise and break them in really big, and you should be good to go.
And you've had those boots for how many years?
These, I've gone through 3 or 4 pairs of these now, because of,
Okay.
all the South America hikes, and these have been on Kilimanjaro 3 times, twice last year and once this year.
So I'd say they last.
Yeah, no, they look pretty
They're
good.
worth the investment.
Well, they have the Vibram soles, Vibram soles are really important for grip.
Yeah.
On the 6th day, so final base camp day, we go from Barfu camp, or we go from Karanja camp to Barfu, but then up to Kosovo. Between Barfu and Kosovo, there's a slab of rock that's maybe that much of an angle, and there's absolutely nothing to hold on to at all. And so you're totally relying on this, and nobody ever has a problem. You have good gripping soles in your boots, you're going to be just fine. So make sure they have Vibram soles, whatever brand you end up getting. I'm looking at this to make sure there's nothing else on the hike. I do bring a first aid kit. So they have first aid stuff as well, but I have it for the team just in case somebody needs something. Have wrap. I actually sprained my ankle the 2nd year. I don't know, stepped on a rock that I thought was solid, and it moved, and I twisted my ankle, and man, fortunately we had some of this and wrapped it up right away, and I was still able to, that was like day 2 or 3 of the hike. I was able to still go on and make it. It only swelled up a little bit, and that's the advantage of boots. Some people like to use trail runners, but there's no ankle support. So so because I had that kind of a boot, I didn't roll nearly as far as if I was in something like this. So it's to protect your ankles as well. But anyway, first aid kit just in case. I love these little packages of Jif Creamy. I might have one of those every day. Lozenges are good, just moisten, and then like I already mentioned, filling this up with all your favorite snacks. Okay, so that's pretty much what you want. I think I covered everything, and like that you'll have this hanging on your pack, charging up. You'll have the rain jacket in there. Sometimes they'll say, hey, you better put your rain pants in as well, but I never do. Because this stuff sheds water as well, and we've just never had a downpour, but I think that's it. So it'll fill up your pack. This is only 40 liters. I think this is a 40-liter pack, so it's not huge, right? And I might have cash in here. Because at the end, we're going to be at a really nice souvenir shop, and we'll eat lunch. And you can always use credit card with them. I've never had any problem with credit card. They're very reputable. Reagan is the guy's name that owns it, and I'll have cash in there because I want to give them the tip when we have the celebration. So part of your fee, part of your expenses is $300 tip that we give to the main guide. And so I'll have that with me from each of you. All the money that you give by check, I'll turn into cash where we need cash, and then other parts are paid by credit card. Okay, so
Can we just say that is kind of a game changer, because I went to Israel where it wasn't until like the last day, they're like, we're gonna tip our guide, and I had spent most of my cash on souvenirs, and so to know that that's just built in.
Yeah, it's built in.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, a small tip like $1 for somebody helping you with bag.
Sure.
There's no way to manage that, right? So everybody needs to bring a few of those kind of dollars, but no, the big tip, like the safari guide we've been given 50, we might give more, but that'll be built into your expense as well.
And I think at the very end, like there was somebody there that would clean your boots. It's like $1.
Oh, yeah.
That's really nice.
If it turns out the rainforest is particularly muddy that day, you'll get mud all over the bottom of your pants and your boots, and they'll be flagging you down. Hey, for $5, I'll clean your trekking poles, your boots, and your pants.
And they do a good job.
And they do a really good job.
But also that souvenir place, they have little trinkets and stuff. But in the back, there's a jeweler and
Oh,
he
yeah.
actually, so I bought some,
Tanzanite.
Tanzanite,
Yeah.
my daughter and I did.
Yeah, the only place,
I never take it off.
the only place in the world that Tanzanite's found is in the foothills of Kilimanjaro. Never been found anywhere else. It's amazing.
Heads up on.
Okay, so now let's talk about what you're gonna want in camp. Right? You obviously want a sleeping bag. And this is a 0-degree bag. And I store it in this because it's good for the feathers to keep it stored like that. But then when you pack it in your suitcase and in your duffel bag, you obviously want to compress it down into something a lot smaller. Otherwise, that would fill up the whole suitcase, right? It doesn't make any
It's
sense.
gonna compress.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah,
that?
you can compress it all the way down to fit into that. So anyway, 0-degree bag in camp. They do provide a mattress. It's like some kind of foam with naugahyde or something, some kind of plastic around it. Maybe it's that thing. It's not bad. But I bring this, which takes up a lot of space but weighs nothing. Okay, and that's another reason why I have 2 duffel bags, because this thing takes up a lot of space. So I put this on top of theirs. Again, this is not nice to have or consider to have. This is not a requirement. That's a requirement. Another nicer or consider to have is camp shoes, right? You want to keep wearing your boots all day, or when you get to camp, you want to put something nice on. I've tried flip flops, and I've tried what do they call those things? You just slip your foot in, they're big, heavy, thick plastic.
Tevas or?
Like, not clogs. but-
It was something like a clog, yeah, it looks like a clog.
Crocs?
Crocs, that's it, you got it. Okay, I tried those, but you know, the ground's uneven and there's rocks and you get it in there. Something like this, which you can slip on, you know, you don't have to tie anything. This is really, and I need a new pair, I just about worn these out. I've had these since the first trip, 2011. But some kind of lightweight, easy to get on and off, shoe for in camp is really nice to have, right? Not required again. Another nice to have is a pillow. And this thing compresses down also into something much smaller than this. But alternative to the pillow, you could take your dirty clothes bag and turn it into a pillow, right? So, you know, but obviously the first night, there's not gonna be a lot in there. It's gonna be pretty rough on your head, right? But then as the trip goes on, it's gonna fill up and then it's gonna get too big for your head. So that's why I went to the pillow, but I do bring this for the dirty clothes. The other things are, I usually have some energy drink in the morning and I use Spark. And each of these is for
Coffee.
8 ounces.
Yeah, there's.
No, they have coffee.
There's. There's.
Well, let's stay on.
So there's always some water left over from the day before in my bladder here, so I make sure, or when we get to camp, I make sure I fill this up for the morning, and then if I run out of water, they'll bring more water at dinner time if you want more water, or lunchtime. They'll always give you water if you need it, but so an interesting thing happened to me last year. It was trip 2. And, you know, every single year when I wake up in the morning, I have a headache. And I'm thinking, you know, and it's not an altitude headache. I thought, well, maybe it is an altitude headache, but it couldn't be because it was so low. It was even the first couple days. Every morning I'd wake up with this headache. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And so there's a lot of reasons you can get headaches. Apparently, if your contact lenses are old, somebody told me if they switched out to new ones, the headache went away. You can get a headache from the sun. That's why you had the hat. And you can obviously get a headache from altitude. But you can also get headaches from lack of caffeine if you drink a lot of caffeine. So somebody on the trip last year, we were in camp, it was like mid-afternoon, it was a relatively easy short day. He said, man, I hope we have some coffee coming soon because man, I have a caffeine headache. Because every morning when I take my Spark, which has 30 milligrams of caffeine or 60 or something, I can't remember what. And within the time I get over to the dining room tent, the headache's completely gone. And I finally realized it was caffeine because I drink so much caffeine here. And you know, I have this in the morning when I get up, and I have this in mid-afternoon. And here's some right here. So this is to keep me awake while I'm talking to you. I finally it dawned on me when he said that, and so the rest of the trip I was having more caffeine in the afternoon. And I didn't have any more headaches when I woke up in the morning. You know, it took 19 trips to figure that out. Sheesh. Anyway, so I'll have this in the morning. They have tea, they have coffee, yes.
Do they have Kobe tea there?
I don't think so.
No.
No, they don't.
'Cause I had that,
South America.
I had it in Peru.
Yeah.
A lunchtime, and I had a headache in the morning, and I would just have a
Take that,
little tea.
Yeah, go on, yeah.
Yeah,
They'll bring you a dish pan, not a dish pan, but it's like it's about this deep, maybe this big around, and water for washing. They call it water for washing. So Bruce, if he brings his uncle with him, who's kind of a camp host, he'll come to your tent and go, "Gee, that's literally how we sat in water for washing." And a little tiny soap bar like this. And if you lose the soap bar, you're out of luck unless you bring your own, because they don't take that away. But anyways, it's kind of weird. It's almost like you have to get your hands wet. And then use the soap over here, like that, and then put your hands in to rinse. Because otherwise, if you're washing your hands in there, then how do you rinse your hands? The water's already soaking. So, and then bring your own towel, some kind of lightweight towel is very handy to dry them up. It's, again, nice to have or consider to have. Damp gloves. Oh, I didn't forget one thing. So I went to wearing these trekking gloves during the day, each day, not for warmth, but to protect my hands from the sun, because 2 years in a row, I started getting this weird thing on my hand right here, big red splotch that looked really bad. And then as soon as we got to Malawi, it would just go away. And somebody said, well, maybe you're reacting to the sun. So I started wearing these trekking gloves. I've never had that happen again. It happened 2 years in a row. And so I think trekking gloves, if you're skin sensitive, I mean, obviously there's things like, sunscreen and stuff like that. I never wear sunscreen, I just don't. I hate the feel of it on me. And so I just take my chances. I have the hat to protect the face. I have the gloves for the hands.
Michael Jackson.
And yes, 2 days, for 3 days, my legs and my arms are exposed. And the first day you're in the forest. So not even the first day. In fact, the first day you probably don't even need to wear that hat because you're going to be in the forest the whole day looking for monkeys. Another thing you might have for snacks, I forgot to mention, jerkies are good. This is Trader Joe's. This is Buc-ee's. There's some jerky in there. As soon as we're done with this, we'll take a break. Let everybody grab something to eat and drink, and then we'll dive into fundraising and training. Okay. I always bring 2 or 3 of these battery packs because I have a Garmin to charge up. I have a cell phone to charge up. I have my Apple Watch to charge up. I mean, I got so many things to charge up. It's like they got to bring a whole power source. So I have 2 or 3 of these with me.
Do you put those in your day pack or?
No, they
Okay.
go in the duffel.
Is they look
Another
heavy?
reason the duffel's heavy.
They look real heavy.
I got batteries for the camera and I got those things and it's crazy. Here's a couple duffels just to give you an idea. I mean, if you fill this thing up, unless it's super all heavy stuff, that'll probably be about 35 pounds, and nowhere on this thing, because everybody asks me, what's the size? It doesn't tell me the liters, so I can never tell people. I said, just remember, it's all about weight. It's not about size.
And it's 35 or 50?
No, 35 plus or minus a couple. It's to protect the porters. There's a porter society over there to protect them from, overkill. They carry more than 35 pounds though, because they're carrying your 35 pounds plus maybe some food, some pots and pans. I got a whole bunch of electronics here. I don't take most of that. This is a converter. So you'll find there's different plugs in Tanzania and you'll need, this is more for the safari park or the Springlands Hotel. The converter will allow you to pull out a 3-prong plug that goes into their wall.
Is it like a European plug?
Yeah, I'll show you. It's got every type on here. So it's got, so this is the one you use in Tanzania. Right here.
That's what
Yeah. So anyway, you don't need this for the hike. I just had it in here, but just make sure you have your right cords that are gonna, go from this to your phone and all that kind of stuff. Wet ones are good for sanitary cleaning up, it's always a good idea. Okay, what did I touch before I'm about ready to eat? And I probably should. So you pull one of these out, or maybe you have one of these on here where you can just squirt it on your hands. Always be thinking about that because you don't want to get contaminated with something. Who knows? One of the porters could be sick or something. We don't know it. They don't know it. These are great for just like sponge bathing. So baby wipes, right? Baby wipes don't have any of that. And these things will have a little residue. I don't know if you've ever used wet ones, but there's a little residue. I don't like wash my arms and legs off with this. I'd rather do it with these. So I bring these and clean up every night before I put on, and I put on fresh clothes every night before I go into my sleeping bag. Speaking of that, so we can either call this a urinal receptacle or a pee bottle, whatever you want to call it. And so if you don't want to get out in the middle of the night out of your tent, though, if you're above the tree line, the Milky Way might be out. So there's an advantage to going to the bathroom, going to the outhouse in the middle of the night, not outhouse, but the porta potty. But if you don't want to do that, you can always get one of these. And I think there's things for the women to use. Go Girl or something like that. There's a lot of different things. Sarah can tell you all about that.
I never used it, but I had it.
I don't need to go into that. Let's see, what else is on the table that I wanted to say something about? Oh, yeah, you might want to have a little toiletries kit, I'll use this on the plane. I'll use this on the plane because, I shades to sleep, because the flights are night flights, our transatlantic flights are night flights, earplugs.
Sometimes we usually leave on, let's say, like, because we're gonna leave on a Sunday, right? That's.
Is it a Sunday hour?
It's a Sunday.
It'll, if we take Turkish, it'll probably be 9 o'clock.
Okay, so you're gonna go right into Istanbul.
Yeah, right into Istanbul. That's what we did quite a few of the last, few trips. Anyway, melatonin is in here, toothbrush and toothpaste. So think about, this is a handy size and a comb. You could use this on the plane, but then when you get to camp, it doesn't weigh anything, but you can take that out. You don't need it for sleeping in a tent, right? Okay, I think that's everything. Oh, long johns.
I have to head out, but I'm gonna join the Zoom link.
Okay, good.
That way I'll be on.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Thanks for coming.
All right.
Oh, I want to get a picture of everybody.
Do it quick.
Can we do it?
Yeah.
Let me grab
You have
Jennifer.
to have a camera right here with a tripod.
You could also just Photoshop me in.
No, we don't want to do that. Do you have a camera?
I have a phone.
The phone?
I have a phone.
Okay, let me get Jennifer.
Everything is.
Jennifer,
Michelle.
Jen, can you take our picture?
Continue, that's good, that's
We
good.
should do it right here.
Yeah. With all the.
It-
Dog is-
Couple times.
You did? It's bright.
I got your eyes,
Yeah. This brighter.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, yeah, how about here? This is good.
I got all of here.
It's brighter and everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, you need to be in it. I can do it.
Come on, Sarah.
No, you should be in it.
Both Sarah.
70.
Come on, Stephanie.
Everybody squeeze in.
Yeah, act like we like each other.
Pretty team.
Oh, we're a team.
Yeah.
On 3 or after 3?
Yeah. Good one. I got your after.
Oh, now she's really gonna take it.
Everybody getting.
Ooh.
Hi, Jen. Got it.
Nice.
Okay.
Yay.
Sarah, look good.
Went away. This is late.
Okay, what do you do, Mike? You're not what you need for something like.
Yes, and fundraising. Don't worry about that.
Fundraising, all right.
Are you guys done already?
No, we're
Taking a break?
taking a picture.
Okay.
Taking a picture, just Tana had to leave.
Oh,
The other
okay.
commitment. Okay,
What a show.
so some, obviously, you're gonna have your day.
Hold on, do you want to take a break?
Let's-
Bathroom
we're
or
almost done-
food?
We're almost done with the gear.
Okay, and then, okay,
Get some
don't
food and
forget.
We'll dive
It's
into
like
training.
you're talking sometimes and everybody,
Yeah, I know, I
you know,
get carried away.
you saying that
Mike tends to go on and
yes,
on.
he does. You got a lot to cover.
So obviously you're gonna need these, and I don't really use them going up, but I definitely use them going down for my knees, okay?
Those you suggest purchasing before renting or either.
Those you
If you
say,
think you're gonna do more than one hike with Clean Water Climb down the road, South America, China, whatever, you might as well just buy them, right? They're not that expensive, from REI. So, you have your day pack, you have that, obviously your boots, your heavy glove, your heavy, socks, and
And you
that.
can leave stuff there too.
So I was saying something about this, so, so every night I wear the same pair of long johns, right? Over my underwear and t-shirt underwear. And then I put this on over it. The first night you're gonna be, I'm a little warm in that outfit. But every night after that it's perfect for the 0-degree bag. So anyway, every night, and then on summit night, I have a fresh pair. Because if I use those, they're gonna get really sweaty at some point. Coming down here, it's sweaty. The sun's out, the temperature's gone way up. And you're gonna sweat going downhill, I guarantee it. So, that's why, hey, I wanna keep that for my nightly, and I'm gonna have just one pair just for.
And those are, so what are those? I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're Patagonia. They're on the list, somewhere under one of the, I think they're on.
These are like pajamas, basically.
Yeah, they're long johns. This says Patagonia Capeline tubes. So,
There's silk.
no, they're polyester.
Yeah, those are nice for speaking too, maybe.
Yeah, it could be. So anyway, I wear that. And then I'll probably wear, and I'll have my rain jacket for sure, because it's like a windbreaker, right? And sometimes it can be windy. We've had a couple times when it's been windy enough, it's nice to have this.
You gotta also go over your pack, what you wear.
No, this will be under the pack. Yeah. And rain pants, also good for wind. And so on summit night, as far as pants, I'll have, summit night long johns on. And then I'll have these heavy duty outdoor research that's on the list. And you'll see on that list, we're in off to the right in the comments, it'll say summit night in bold
Yeah.
caps in red. Okay, those are things that you really need to consider to have for summit night. So you can see this is a heavier duty material. Anybody wants to touch it and feel it.
So only one night.
Yeah, it's only for one night. Yeah, so mandatory.
What are these called? What are these?
On the list, let me grab a copy of
Yeah.
this.
So sorry.
Yeah. So,
The dance party.
okay, where is it? Should be here. Oh. No, the safari pants are much lighter. These are safari pants right here.
And those safari pants, these are for night.
Yeah, summit night.
So you don't have.
Yeah.
Trying to find it on this list. It should be there. Hope I didn't put it under. Okay, I put it under nice to have on the second page. Heavy mid-layer pants, outdoor research, Cirque soft shell pants, and then the mid-layer top I used at Arc'teryx. This is an Arc'teryx brand, I believe. Vortex hooded fleece jacket. So it does have a hood, as you can see. So that's extra warmth for your head.
Arc'teryx has a nice outlet mall.
Yeah.
Outlet.
Where?
In Colorado.
Oh, in
But I mean,
Colorado,
you can
yeah.
order.
So anyway, something heavy like this is really necessary, and then the final layers would be the rain pants and the rain jacket. Now, if it seems like an extra warm night, maybe we can get by without bringing those. You'll just have to gauge it, and we'll talk to the guys and say what the final thing needs to be for clothing.
What's the temperature that you can get in the middle of the night?
I would say before the sun comes up, as you're getting close to the summit, it could be 0. Yeah. It's probably not gonna be any colder than that. And then it goes above freezing once the sun comes out.
Pretty wind's blowing.
But if the wind's blowing, it's cold. It's quite cold. And for our second trip last year, which was in September, it was quite windy, and so we had all of our stuff on. We didn't, like some years I'll take everything off except for the t-shirt. And I can get pictures in t-shirts up there. It's crazy. It could be very, very low. Now, I used to wear mittens on summit night. And if your hands get particularly cold, I would say you really want to use them. But the problem with mittens that I find that I don't like, but it may not be, I mean, if I'm using these on certain places of the trail going up, it's a pain in the neck to hold on to mittens, right? I hold on to these with mittens on, and you can't do anything. You can't do anything with a mitten. You can't, what if you have to get to the restaurant or going up a mountain, the mittens, and you have to take your mittens off and your hands are freezing. So I've gone to these heavy duty gloves, and these are Marmots. They're on the list. And also the other thing I used to do is wear a parka. And the first 2 years I was so hot, I went to a tri-climate jacket. But then I realized I'm still too hot. So my final layer before the rain jacket is this puffy jacket. And it folds up into a pocket.
Yeah,
It's very small.
You
You can just fold this thing up into this pocket until it's only this big.
Love it.
I also use it like in the evenings in camp when the sun goes down, it gets a little chilly. So it's handy for that, but it's also, I don't need the big parka, I don't need the tri-climate jacket. All I need is this plus these other layers. And it's also got the hood. So you got this thing with the hood wherever it ended up, this thing with a hood, you have this with a hood. And then you also have, you know, a ski cap, right? This one, the Everest Base Camp one that I bought, it really doesn't go over my ears very well. This one that we gave out to high level donors. This is good, something over your ears. So between this, and this thing, your ears and your face, side of your face are gonna be covered up pretty well. But you want a balaclava. So this is a balaclava. And these are kind of the final protect your cheeks that you'll put on before you put on your hoods, right? And the only thing about it is, especially since I wear glasses, so I'm constantly pulling it down and like this is my glasses, but you need it. You need it on summer night. You need to protect your face. Now my beard will be longer, which helps, but that's only good for the guys, right? So, and obviously you're gonna need some kind of a headlamp. So this is a spot headlamp, super cheap. I think I got this I couldn't believe it. They had them at Office Max of all places. And there's a big pile of them and they were like $10 or $15. And you know, it's pretty bright. And you know, even in the daylight, you can see how it lights up. There's also this thing, which is a light bar. And Jason Shepard gave me this. And when we went to Everest Base Camp one year, he said, "Have you ever heard of a light bar?" No. So this is a light bar. And so, you know, it starts off the brightest and then it goes down as you press on it. And then you hold it in, it turns it off. So this gives you more of a wide view, but it's not as bright as the spotlight. And one year, distinctly remember, I think it was 2013, the full moon was so bright, we didn't use anything. It was so bright, you could just walk up the mountain at night without any extra light. Okay, gloves. And so what I do on Sunday night, most of the time, I just have those in my pack because I'm gonna need them going down. And most of the time, I will have all my layers on. This being probably the final layer, maybe the rain jacket will be on if it's windy. And I'm just walking up, all zipped up, and I just keep my hands in this pocket. And between the gloves and the down that's surrounding this pocket. And if they do get cold, I just start going like this, you know, and they warm back up.
Where those little heater like that stay warm?
Well, yeah, there's hand warmers.
Yeah, those hand.
They work really good with mittens. But with gloves, I don't know where you'd put it. I mean, you could probably put it in the palm or you could put it back here, but it's not gonna help your fingers.
Yeah,
On
they
a
have
glove.
a zipper that they go right in.
Yeah, so that's on the list to consider, but I'm kind of showing you what has evolved for me over all these years that seems to work pretty well.
Yeah.
But if you're super sensitive to cold, especially your hands, I would definitely get the mittens. And then you can put the hand warmers in here.
And the hot water bottle? Did you talk about it?
I didn't talk about that, but oh, yeah. So the other thing on summit night is you don't want your water line to freeze on your ladder. So I'll switch it out to this. The other option is just to use this the whole time and leave this as a backup in case you get a leak or something like that. But this is an insulation that keeps this line from freezing up, but you always, if you take a drink, you blow air back into this tube. You want to get all the water out if at all possible, but you know, every single year, even with the insulated tube, at some point, enough water accumulates in there that you don't blow out, that it freezes up, right? But then as soon as the sun comes out and you're up at the top, it unfreezes. But they also have the water bottles that they're bringing up for you, so that's backup in case you know, they freeze early on you. Thanks for pointing that out. But okay, you were asking about the water bottle. Yeah, so I don't have one, but tell everybody about the water bottle.
It's a bottle, it's not a bottle.
Oh,
it's a rubber.
It's a rubber thing. Yeah.
Yeah, they just tried to bring one and I was amazed. If you give it to the sugar guys, they'll put hot water in it.
Yeah.
And when you sleep,
For sleeping, it's
I
great.
love
Yeah.
so nice.
I've never used one, but yeah. Little bladder. A bladder thing, right? They fill it up with hot water and you put your sleeping bag.
In the at the safari, they had them.
They had them, that's so much. Yeah, you come into your room and your bed's been turned down. And then I think one time it happened, I got in there, it's like, what's this in my bed? You know, I thought it was an animal got in there or something. It was a hot water bladder, in the bed, warming the bed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
we use it every single night.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Okay, let's take a quick break. There's lots of snacks in there. Grab something and then we'll dive into training and fundraising. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys a chance to use the restroom, whatever, and how are we doing? You guys have to leave when?
When do you want to leave, honey?
10 minutes.
We'll probably into 4 or 5.
That's about almost 4 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5:04.
Yeah, so can we have a snack and just keep talking?
Yeah, we can do that. Grab a snack and we'll just keep talking.
You want
Yeah.
to out or you want?
Yeah.
Even though. There's any questions.
Right. Well, you do this enough times, you know what works, what doesn't.
I love it. But not everyone can, not, I was just gonna say not everyone can break it out so I can explain to people. I think it's.
Yeah, I used to kind of go down, okay, this is what you have to have, this is what you, nice to have, this is what you can, but I feel like, you know, it's more realistic to talk about, what do you need on the hike? What do you need in camp? What do you need for that final?
That was great. I was just gonna say, if you need a call with the last information, when I first came, remember you had the video stuff?
I made you
You didn't have the equipment out. You said I didn't have time to get everything, so this is really.
Yeah, no, this is more, info meetings, I don't go into some of the detail like that, like the gear. The gear is more for people that, hey, I'm pretty sure I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Snack,
home?
quick snacks.
I think I'm gonna have to go home.
Okay.
Yeah. But I gotta do the Kyle.
She exhausts me with that blabbing too, God. I could go.
Okay, guess I can put this back over here.
You just sign the thing.
Hey, let's talk about training.
Oh. Well, I worked on it.
Last night, but tomorrow.
But we need to send.
Dudley, I know this is kind of boring for you, but thanks for hanging in there with us. They're grabbing a snack and then we're going to talk about training and, you know, you might pipe in and say, hey, you know, come hike a couple segments with me on the Appalachian Trail. You never know, right? That could be good training.
No, it's a good refresher. I mean, the kind of fun, and also just reliving some of the stuff. Like going through the camps. I remember that camp.
Yeah.
The sun was like and water. That's the big thing, you know, water up there, so. That's the heavy stuff. I think probably didn't need a hundred. Try. Yeah, there's no. Yeah.
So you getting excited?
Right.
Good.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Me too. I was seeing people that done it, so I'm like, I can do this.
So, their daughter's married to our grandson. I
Oh,
forgot to mention that when we were introducing.
I love that.
Yeah, the Maverick else have the Ranger and you have the F-150. Maverick's small.
Hi, Sarah. I'm just.
What was that drug, Mike?
What?
What was that drug for that jet lag?
Oh, we're gonna come back in here now.
You really did? Did you ever try it?
Yeah, I use it all the time now. Just look up drugs for what narcolepsy. It was developed for narcolepsy, and then if you find that drug, it says it's also good for.
What does it do? Is it just keep you up?
I think it just must give you some kind of a alternate buzz besides caffeine, a different way of keeping you awake. Okay, let's see. Is
I know, your paper actually different colors.
that's what your folder's for.
Mike, I have that same lion for that.
Do you?
This is what you're for.
What's his name? Seki?
Oh, Seki Santa. Yeah,
Seki's on it.
Seki Santa. Yeah, we'll see him. Okay, well, let's talk about training. Preparing yourself physically for Kilimanjaro. I would say make an appointment with a doctor. Make sure you're based on your health history and everything, and you would tell the doctor what you want to do, see what he or she says in terms of preparing. Is there anything that's special or he or she is concerned about? And then if you want to gain weight or lose weight, and some people are, maybe need to gain a little weight, set up a diet plan and stick with it. And then exercise obviously is very important. So you set up an exercise regimen and follow it. So you can read more of the details there, but I want to talk really more about physical training. I will say one thing: if you want to lose weight, walking is really good. Even though your heartbeat's not necessarily particularly high, long walks are very good for losing weight. Keto diet is good for losing weight. Intermittent fasting is good for losing weight. That's where you eat just lunch and dinner. You don't eat snacks like I do every night. You gotta stick with it. I think if you do it long enough, you can get into the point where it's not hard. High intensity training aids in losing weight faster, but I wouldn't necessarily do that at this point. But walks, long walks, I think are really good if you need to do that. Physical training. Okay, so this is what was told to me when I first decided to do Kilimanjaro. I was like, okay, what about fitness? What do I do about that? And same guy that I asked about all the gear and the boots and all that kind of stuff said, well, this is what you need to do. So let's say you're going in July on the trip. So for the 3 months before the trip, so that would be April, May, and June for a July hike, do 5 hours of cardio per week. So 1 to 2 hours per session, let's say. So if you're already doing that much cardio, then just keep doing it, right? But if you're not doing any cardio, this is kind of so you back up from there. So March, you would do 4 hours a week, February, 3 hours a week, January, 2 hours a week, December, 1 hour a week. So if you're going in July, by December, you should be doing 1 hour a week. Now for August, September, you could, move that 3 months or 2 months later. You could literally only start your cardio in February, 1 hour a week, 2 hours a week, 3 hours a week, 4, and then 5 for June, July, and August, right? So the idea there is you're not doing cardio and you want to get started. You don't want to kill yourself, right? You don't want to overdo it, hurt something. Man, we had a guy, and this is kind of related, but he went on our first, he went 2 years in a row. He lived in Boston. He was going to school back there, and his dad knew Child Legacy, and the Child Legacy told his dad about the Clean Water Climb, and so he decided, maybe my son should go on that. So he did. He did great the first year. He loved it, and then the second year he came, and he shows up at the airport. He flew in from Boston. Of course, we're flying, and we were doing KLM, and so we ended up in Amsterdam, and he's got this big thing wrapped around his ankle. So I said, "What happened?" And he said, I was on a trampoline, and I had an accident on the trampoline, and he twisted his ankle really bad. And so by day by day 3, he was done. Couldn't go any further. So, I mean, that's kind of related to training, but not really. So I always tell people, whatever you do, don't do a lot of crazy stuff. Several weeks before the trip, be conservative on your workouts and be conservative on, crazy things like trampolines. And I'm sure there's other crazy things like that.
Parachuting.
What? Parachuting.
There you go.
How
Oh,
many hours are you hiking the most per day? I think that's kind of,
well,
you start hiking at 8 and you. hike
we
till-
usually start 8:30 each day, except some at night. That's when we start around midnight or 1 a.m. That's the long day. I would say on average that, we may be hiking 5 hours a day average.
5 hours.
Some days are 6 hours.
Yeah.
Some days are only 4 hours, Most days we get into camp by lunchtime. The first day you start after lunch, so you get there by dinner time. But then the second day, it's a pretty long day the second day, so they'll set up something, a dining room tent or something along the way, and we'll literally have lunch in the dining room tent halfway through the day or so. And then, or they'll give us some heavy snacks that they've carried for us, and we just eat it without being in a dining room tent. It all depends. Sometimes we have a dining room tent, sometimes not. And then, but like the day we do Karanga camp, we end up at camp by lunchtime. The day we do final base camp day, we end up in camp by lunchtime. So, they're not super long days most of the time. But
But just think, when you think about like 4 hours, 5 hours walking.
yeah, it's a lot.
A lot of walking.
It's a lot of walking. I mean, I don't do 5 hours. I don't do 5 hours in my neighborhood. It's sea level, Of course, it was that a couple years ago. Last year I did 1 mile, then 2 miles, then 3 miles and 4, and I got up to 14 miles in what, I did that for 14 straight days because it was the 14th annual Clean Water Climb, and I wanted to do something to get me back in shape.
And one other thing too, so I just flew Turkish Air to Istanbul.
Oh.
Just like a month ago. And so before I left, we had they feed you really well. It's great airline.
Yeah.
So it fed us. Then I took some allergy medicine because it makes me groggy anyway. So I took some allergy medicine. I fell asleep maybe 5 or 6 hours, which I never do.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Except for the fact that when I got up, I could barely walk on one of my legs. It felt like it was just like there was no power in it. There was nothing. I mean, I was like, this obviously is surgery, but
Yeah.
this was totally different. This was like in my calf and I could feel it. And I was like stumbling down the aisle, kind of put my hands on, went to the bathroom, came out, felt a little bit better. But for the next day and a half, I mean, I had really, really bad. And I think it might have been, I'm just kind of mentioning this to people, that I might have developed a little blood clot.
Yeah.
My
Yeah. Okay,
leg.
that's a really good point. I didn't bring my socks then, but I always wear these socks that go up to here.
Compression socks.
Right,
Yeah.
compression.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Because normally I'm I don't sleep, but
Yeah.
5 hours, I just slept in the same position. And I really think
Yeah.
that I had a little bit of a blow. Man, it was crazy.
And you used that same allergy medicine before and didn't have that happen.
Right, it only just makes me groggy,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I was tired and
Yeah.
I had I guess those 2 glasses of wine
Yeah,
probably.
that helps. That helps put you to sleep too.
Yeah.
A little bit of wine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I just thought I'd mention.
Yeah, no, that's
if you
it's
take that trip. It might be, advantageous, to-
That's
to
something
get-
that Jerry really suffered on his legs coming back.
on Kilimanjaro trip,
No, from
China.
so
Oh.
he was a lot of pain. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
But he had compression socks on.
But he
so-
did have them.
But he took them off and he started feeling better. So maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Too tight.
Dehydrated or
Yeah, maybe it's just maybe it had nothing to do with it. I don't know. That's a good point though. I mean, I wear them on all my long flights.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about kind of a schedule that you could get started on, and doesn't even if you're going on the September trip, it doesn't hurt to do it now if you're not doing it. And then if you turn it over, select your favorite exercises. Right? Don't do something you don't like. I like cycling. I like stairs. I like swimming, and I like treadmill. And of course walking, but walking doesn't really get your heart rate up. These are things I'm thinking about. Hey, what gets your heart rate up? Outdoor jogging, if your knees are good, mine aren't good. Stairs are better than Stairmaster. I like the I like the Stepmaster, which is different than a Stairmaster, right? A Stairmaster, you're kind of in place, but a Stepmaster has got this
It's like a rolling.
rolling,
stairs.
steps, you know, yeah. I like that. That really gets my heart rate up and yeah, it's good. And then for the last 3 months, it says increase the intensity without changing the amount of time. So that means, you know, maybe swim a little faster, jog a little faster, ride your bike a little faster. So to keep the hours the same, just increase your workout level. And then I recommend not to lump all the hours for a week into 1 or 2 days and then take 5 days off. You might want to spread it out a little. I mean, if you did an hour 5 times a week, that'd be great. You know, take off the weekends or maybe take off Sunday or one other day. And then, you know, obviously part of this is, hey, go to your doctor, tell them what you want to do. This is kind of what your, you know, the leader of the trip suggests as far as training regimen. You can have the doctor perform a stress test to determine your maximum heart rate if you want. I did that many years ago, and my maximum heart rate was calculated at 193. And I don't know if that's particularly high or not, but that means, you know, and you're kind of born with a natural maximum heart rate, is what I've been told. And so mine's one.
Which does not decline with age.
It has in my case.
Well, it
Absolutely.
can, but it doesn't, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a
Yeah,
fast.
I mean, mine used to be 180 to 200. It's about 165, 160, 170 now.
Yeah, and when I told my doctor I was doing chemotherapy, she did a stress test. I
She
mean,
did.
she just like went to work.
Yeah.
And then recommended I go this health doctor for the shots and stuff.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that
Oh, okay.
for preparing for Africa. That's going to be another meeting where we talk about medications and any kind of shots and stuff like that.
Okay.
Don't worry, don't panic about the shots. There's not going to be that much at all to worry about there. So you get approval from your doctor. Maybe they'll do a stress test, find out your maximum heart rate. I like to work out maybe up to 60% of my maximum heart rate, which I think is like 145, 150, somewhere in there. I can't remember. But I've commonly gone into the 170s when I work out, and I've actually hit 180 sometimes on a long bike ride where it's a hill or something like that, and I'm really pushing it. I don't do that much anymore, but I can get my heart rate up into the 180s if I really try. You can buy a heart rate monitor. Of course, if you have an Apple Watch or something like that, you can you know, be looking at your heart rate all the time and just make sure, you know, it looks like it's low enough or it's high enough or it's too high. I need to back off a little bit. But 60% of your maximum heart rate is a good workout number to goal to shoot for. You could use a spreadsheet if you really want to get detailed about it. I'm a very detailed person, and I used to do that actually, you know, keep track of everything I'm doing. But now I kind of have a feel for what I need to do, so I don't do that anymore. But if you want to, you can do that. And you might consider getting a personal trainer. I had a personal trainer for quite a few years over at Villa Sport. And she told me that swimming is probably the best exercise to prepare for climbing mountains. You know, it's not impactful to your joints, and you can get a really good workout swimming. And my orthopedic doctor told me the same thing about swimming, but also cycling. Cycling is really good to strengthen your quad muscles. I mean, I have arthritis in my right knee, and every 2 or 3 years it flares up. I do something stupid, and I gotta get a cortisone shot. And then a series of Trivest shots in there that lubricate the joint. So I'm not to the point I need a knee replacement or anything like that. But anyway, and that's one of my favorite pictures I've ever taken from Killy. And that was taken on an iPhone 4 in 2014. And the sun was just coming up behind the mountain as we flew away. And I thought, man, that is just incredible. Okay, let's talk about fundraising. So,
is it a midnight climb on
the final push?
Why is that? Is it?
Well, that's a good question. People ask that quite often. I've been told this. One main reason is that it's colder at night, so the air is denser, so you're getting more oxygen per breath.
Huh.
And I thought,
Interesting.
that makes sense. You know, I don't know how much, or maybe they don't want you to see the summit, like way up there during the day. Now, I did do it once during the day when I did it solo for the first time in 2020. It was COVID year, and everything got shut down, and everything got canceled. And you know, it's the 10th anniversary of the Clean Water Climb. How can we not do it? You know, So I ended up doing it in October. It's the only time I've done it that late in the year. And I wanted to do a little exploration since it was just me and I wasn't risking anybody else's, concerns. So I told them, well, I want to stay in Crater Camp. So after you summit, go down into the crater and there's actually a camping area there. I mean, I never saw anybody else, but it's called Crater Camp and it costs a little extra money to stay there. So I said, well, how about if I go up, just leave early in the morning? The sun's already up and go to the summit and then go down into Crater Camp. And then the next day, go over to, in fact, was it the next day? No, the same day, walk over to the glacier, which you can walk on top of in the crater, and also walk over to the ash pit, which is the very center of Kilimanjaro. I don't have any pictures handy of that, but so I did that, and so anyway, that's the only time I've gone up during the day, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful to do that, but it adds. I mean, to sleep in the crater at 18,850 feet or whatever it is, you don't sleep. You don't sleep. You're warm enough. You got enough gear and you got a good sleeping bag, and you've taken your Diamox for headaches, and we'll talk about that when we get do the preparing for Africa kind of thing, the medication and stuff like that. But there's this pounding in your head. Just it doesn't hurt, but it's like you can hear this thing in your head going dong dong dong. How do you sleep when this thing's going dong dong dong? You just can't. So you just lay there the whole night.
That's because of the altitude.
Yeah, I think so. But I didn't have it wasn't hurtful though. It was just like a sound of my heart beating. I was like, I could hear my heart beating in my head.
Weird.
It was weird. But when we did Aconcagua in South America, that's the highest peak in South America. So I've done two highest peaks. Aconcagua, which is 22.5, 22,841. I'm sorry, it's exactly 3,500 feet higher than Kili. And the last camp before you go to the summit of Aconcagua is higher than Kilimanjaro. So you're sleeping about 400 or 500 feet higher than the summit of Kili. Wow. Again, pound, pound, pound. All night long. But it was crazy. Okay, so we've kind of, and sorry I didn't advance that for you, Dudley, but you know all this stuff, man. You're an Appalachian conqueror, trail conqueror, and everything. So let's talk about, let's talk about fundraising, because this is what it's all about. It's all about the more money we raise, the more people get clean water, and the more people get a chance to hear the gospel and make a decision. So let's talk about fundraising. So we'd like everybody to pay for their trip, right? So that when you write your letter to your potential donors, you say, I'm paying for my whole trip. Every penny you give is going to go to this ministry. A lot of people are impressed by that because let's face it, churches have these youth groups and they go on these mission trips, and most of those kids don't have enough money. The parents necessarily can't afford to send them. And so they ask people to donate money so they can go on the trip. Mm-hmm. And that's what a lot of people know about. They hear about that all the time. Well, we like to do things a little different. We feel like if we can pay for our own trip, then all the money we tell people we raise is going to go to the ministry. I think I've heard a lot of people tell me feedback on that. They say they were really impressed to hear that. So let's go to, so now we're at fundraising. And so I'm going to pull up a document for that. Which one is going to be this one? I call it, let's pass it out. And this one is a little long, but I'm going to try to race through it for you. Yeah, so I call it Fundraising 101, Keys to Successful Fundraising. So it says I've been doing it for 18 years since the BP MS 150 in 2007. I think if we did the math, it's still about right. And I learned a lot those first 4 years on how to fundraise. And then when I started the Clean Water Climb in 2011, I'd already learned a bunch of things. And I would say the key thing that I learned is relationships. People give to people, not to projects. They're going to donate to you because they know you and trust you, that you're doing this thing. You're going to do something really hard that's somewhat analogous to people trying to have clean water in a very, very poor rural country. And so it's somewhat analogous to that in a sense. And then we're on the mountain. They're serving us with water. right? They're going and collecting the water and they're sterilizing it and purifying it and they're providing it to us. So every day we're on the mountain, we're getting served.
It's amazing.
And then we get a chance to turn around and serve the people of Malawi. So people give to people, not to projects. The first time I heard that, I thought, that seems odd. Why aren't they going to give to this water project? Well, there might be 100 organizations doing water work in Malawi, right? Or I mean Africa. Let's just say Africa, and you have a heart. You feel like, oh, I want to give to that. But you don't know which one to give to. But then your good friend or your relative says, hey, I'm going to climb Kilimanjaro. I'm going to do something really hard. And I want to raise money and I want you to support this ministry because we're going to take that money that you're given and we're going to help repair wells and bring clean water to this really poor country. So they go, oh, really? You're going to do that? Well, I'm going to give to your cause because they know you. So that's what it means. And then the other half is persistence. When I was still working at Southwestern Energy, I was doing the MS-150, and then in 2011, which was 7 years before I retired, I started sending out emails and fundraising letters and all that kind of stuff. And somebody donates $5,000, and it was somebody in the oil and gas business actually that was a contractor, and he knew me and I knew him, and he donates $5,000, and I sent him an email right away and thanking him. I said, "Oh, thank you so much. This is really helpful. It's going to." At that time, it was only $1,000 to repair a well. Now it's $1,600 because of inflation in the last 15 years. I said that's going to repair 5 water wells. I mean, that's a lot. If there's 1,500 people in an average village, that's a lot of people that you've just benefited. 6,000 people or something like that, or 7,500, I guess. And he goes, and then he apologizes. He writes back, "Oh, I'm really so sorry it took so long for me to do that." And it was like a month before the trip. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, but he said the key to your success, Mike, is you're persistent. And I go, oh, am I a pest? And I think there's a fine line between being a pest and being persistent, right? You can't demand money, obviously, but persistence is just gentle reminders. So he literally told me this. He said, Mike, every time one of your monthly emails came in, my desk was just covered with projects. My voicemail was full. My email inbox had 10 things that were emergencies. I had 6 meetings to go to that day. And for some reason, when your email came in today, everything was clean. I didn't have anything on my desk to worry about. I didn't have any meetings to go to. I mean, I thought, oh, he said, that's what I mean by persistence. He said, you just gave me another gentle reminder, and today I could act on it. So that told me, just don't send out one email because, who knows what happened to that email, Exactly. But if you send them out somewhat regularly, once a month, I think, eventually people, and you have to be creative. You have to be creative in your email. It's going to be a little harder for you that have never gone to Africa and actually been in a village, but I have a Google folder with all kinds of a Google account with all kinds of folders on the drive that I'll share with you that have pictures of bad water and then successfully repaired wells and I have all kinds of resources like that. So you could grab the ones you like and put those in an email or put those in your fundraising letter. So I would say, and where does persistence come from? It comes from passion. And so where does the passion come from? Well, it comes from knowledge. You have to have the knowledge first. And if you know enough about the problem, then you start becoming passionate about it, right? I mean, for me, it was easy. I went to Africa and I saw all this. I had passion instantly from being there. Some of you won't have that advantage. And so you have to become very knowledgeable, I think, and start building that passion about it. And I said, okay, right. So next, the red line there, use every means possible to fundraise because you'll not have everybody's physical address. You won't have everybody's email addresses, and not everyone uses social media. So, and it's critical that you don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Start by getting organized, make a list of everyone you can think of that you would want to communicate with this. Okay, family, business, colleagues, neighbors, church friends, community group, social clubs, whatever, new friends, and how you will communicate with them. And I send out one fundraising letter, hard copy, U.S. Post Office, one-time mailing per year. There's no sense doing more than one. It is commonly said it takes money to make money, right? So you spend a little money on postage and printing and envelopes, and you send it out, and and that's it. You don't have to send another fundraising letter out. And for me, it's like, okay, this is like the 16th year, the 16th year next year. So I got to be creative and, try to come up with something new for the 16th year fundraising letter. And then I email once a month, increasing in frequency until maybe the last month before the trip. I might do it once a week. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to be a pest, but I want to be enough persistent so that some people will literally donate at the last minute. I'm sorry, I didn't do it earlier. Social media. So if you are on social media, I would say, easily once a week. There's no reason not to. You're not filling anybody's inbox up. You're not filling their mailbox up. It's just social media. And oftentimes people don't see it, right? So that's why you have to do a lot of that. I might even do it every day the last month before the trip, some kind of post about, hey, I'm still fundraising. I only have $8,000 to go, or whatever is needed to whatever you set your goal at. Face to face. Okay, it is a good idea sometimes to do a face to face with people. I haven't done a lot of those, but I have done enough of them to know that it always gets a response of something. It may not be a lot, but it may be something. So you might think about a few key people that you would do a face to face with. Do something crazy. For us guys, for several years in a row there, I was doing mohawks. and it was a different color every year. And if you go far enough in the document, you'll see some pictures. Event. Okay, consider if it's worth your time or not. Because sometimes, again, putting all your eggs in one basket, like just one fundraising letter or just a few face-to-faces or an event. Well, an event may not work that well. It may cost a lot of money, and then you end up not getting any donations or very few. If you're really good at events, probably not a bad idea. But if you've never done an event, and you have an idea to do it, I think really hard about doing an event. Okay, fundraising letter. Put your heart and your passion into your letter. Don't fold back. Tell everybody what you're doing and why you're doing it. You can mention my name if you want. Hey, I met this guy and he's climbed Kilimanjaro 19 times, and the Clean Water Climb has raised over $5 million now. We just hit that a couple months ago. So it's, just tell them it's going to be the hardest thing you've ever done. Climb Kilimanjaro, the highest peak in Africa, but you're doing it because you want to bring water. I mean, literally, you go to a village. There's no electricity. There's no plumbing in anybody's houses. There's no natural gas to cook it on the oven. Everything. The only thing they have is a hand pump water well. That's all they have. And when that breaks, it's like they don't have anything. And so there's so much singing and dancing, you guys know, when that water well gets fixed, it's just unbelievable. And so you tell them that this is a fundraising event. It's to raise awareness and funds for Child Legacy's Water Well Ministry. Now we have the separate 501c3, so the money we receive through Clean Water Climb, which my pastor told me, if this thing's going to continue for generations, Mike, you need to form your own organization. And so now we have a board of directors. So when something happens to me, I won't be around anymore. The board can just figure out how to keep this thing going.
No,
What?
we're not talking about that.
Okay.
We'll still be in that urn.
So we will, you go to Clean Water Climb website, cleanwaterclimb.org. You click on donate. And then I think, tell us quickly how you set up your fundraising page. You go to cleanwaterclimb.org.
You don't call me, no.
Yeah, yes, we do.
You go
That'd be
to our
nice.
main page
Yeah.
and, or you go to our website,
I'll-
waterclimb.org, hit donate, that gets you to our main fundraising page. In there, you can say, I want to become a fundraiser. And if there's already a team page,
Okay, so here's the main page.
yeah, you can hit donate if you want
How about fundraise?
to,
No,
yes, you can do fundraising.
Okay.
Yes,
fundraise.
actually, that's the one that.
Yeah, hit fundraise. And then you get-
here's our portal into our fundraising.
Become a fundraiser. You
Yep.
click on that.
Now,
And then
if there's a team already have.
Yeah.
You can join a team.
Right. And Bill will usually set up the team.
I'll have a team already built.
Yeah.
So you just say join a team.
Just join.
Which is the group that's going in that particular year. or something?
Yeah,
It'll
okay.
come up and you'll find it, then you have to create your account, just like you normally, it's like Facebook.
Yeah.
It's a simpler version of Facebook. You put your little profile picture.
Yeah.
Write up something.
Yeah.
Look at Mike.
Username.
Made this incredible
Hmm.
fundraising page. And what's cool too is you can make a vanity URL. So you want it'll be give.cleanwaterclimb.org/ your name. And you can put that in, and then you can give that or put that in your.
Okay.
And if you want, I can make you you see a bunch of QR codes that are on these pages. I can create that for you.
So easy.
Once you get it, yeah. And you literally can use it every year forever, all your clients of that fancy URL. You just have to call it old on the old one, and then you just continue using it every year.
So if you click on donate, then support a fundraiser. So you could like look at mine if you wanted to and see what I've done.
Look at Mike's.
So you know, I've got all kinds of stuff on here. YouTube channel, like if you want to go see what kind of videos are out there, some stories that the church has done on me, surrender to the call, step by step. And here's my bio. So this talks about my very first mission trip. And here's the dry riverbed I was talking about. So, you know, we drove over this dry riverbed and this was living water. And I said, stop the car. I want to see this. So that's what I saw. And so if you go to and then I went to Sudan and we were repairing wells. And we were sharing stories. And the Sudanese people are like the Dinka tribe is like the tallest people in the world. You can see this lady towering over me, Rebecca. They're the darkest and the tallest people in the world. And then this is my first trip to Malawi. And Kareen Rogers, she's a co-founder of Child Legacy. This is one of the repair guys. And I wanted to get in there. We had some other people there entertaining the kids while we were working on the well. And then this is when I was sharing a Bible story, and God said, "You need to ask them if they want to receive Jesus." I go, "No, I don't want to do that. They're not going to be interested." Yes, you need to do that. You're never going to be in this village again. And when I said to this crewman right here, I said, "Ask them if they would like to pray to receive Jesus as their Savior." They said, "They all get up and they surround me," and you know we at church today. Remember when he was talking about moments? This was a moment.
I also heard it walk to Emmaus. They said, you know, it's a series of yeses.
A series of yeses
that you make.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So when is the South America trip going to be finished? You think?
Finished?
Yeah. That's when you can create your pages after that climb is done and we're done with 2025.
Okay, you don't think we should?
Can't do it. Remember how we get messed up. So
okay.
If you want, are you going to go on it?
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. So
well, it's always a dilemma with those early trips in the year because
it goes to because everything is tied in and funneled into our main 2025 fundraising amount.
Yeah, so December is like the biggest giving month of the year.
Yeah.
And so that's why one of the reasons why I'm having this meeting now, so people could get started early, because people are looking for things to donate to.
Then we make the Ecuador trip for 2026. That's the only other way we can do this.
Yeah, and
we shut off
and
2025.
Kevin won't like that. Our COO. Okay, well let's worry about that later.
Yeah,
anyway, so fundraising letter. You tell everybody they're not funding your trip. You're paying for it. Hey, you have teammates. You're going to go with X number of people, and so yeah, that's a typo. It says 18 times since 2011, but don't worry about that. It's 19 now. I never update everything like I should. Tell them the name of the organization, Clean Water Climb Inc. Tell them about Child Legacy, also a 501c3 faith-based nonprofit. They'll be the sole recipient of these funds until we get so big that Child Legacy can't take all the money, and we'll find somebody else to also help. That's really my vision. Long-term vision is that we can be raising so much money through so many people leading trips that we can start funding other organizations doing good work.
Well, does Child Legacy's catchment area, is that also what they do the whole country? As far
well,
as
they do the whole country.
Okay.
But the last few years, it's been focused within they do quite a bit in the South, like Blantyre. I mean, it doesn't seem to be as
they want
much.
to duplicate the hospital, but it'll be in Malawi somewhere else, right?
Well, if they decide to do that, duplicate the Child Legacy sustainability side. Okay, sorry. So you have this, and then here's take these two things. So water the fact, and then this was my very first fundraising letter I wrote in 2011. So you get an idea of what I was doing. Okay, thanks for coming, you guys, so much. Are you, if you had a choice now between trips, would it be the first one or the second one? The shorter one.
You might tell me.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can.
I was gonna say,
hold
if
on
I
one-
highly recommend joining the Zoom call because I've been able to hear everything on y'all's way home.
Yeah, it's in the email.
Where is she though?
You still have my
He's
email?
hiding in the.
And you could listen to it on your way to wherever you're going.
What'd you picture up, girl?
Text. I think she's probably.
Text it to me.
Yeah.
And then let me grab it.
She's driving.
That should not
I
stop
think she's not
her.
driving and watching us.
No, but it could.
Hannah.
I wasn't watching, I was listening.
Okay, all right.
Wow.
All right.
Daryl,
I
Chops
gotta
busted.
do something really quick. I'm so
please do me.
Can I say one thing about?
Hey, go ahead while I'm grabbing this link for them.
Before, when I went before, you said like for $1,000, they can have their name on the banner and the banner, because a lot of people like that idea.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
love
If it's
that idea.
a
If I had
dentist or
$1,000,
anybody, it's like going, this is a banner, it's gonna be on Kilimanjaro.
That's
with a
right.
picture of
Exactly.
So the banner, this is one we,
$1,000.
this is the one we gave to the client. Yeah, well, the name,
There's
So-
my employer.
so these names on here are organizations, right? I mean, there's
And it changes every client, right?
yeah, every time. I mean, we even have like Tote for Congress, we have Voice of Wilderness, QMG Church Project, Critical Path, Merrill Lynch.
Will Henderson Financial.
My primary care physician, my orthopedic,
You guys just.
so anyway,
She teaches, Hannah teaches.
yeah, so for $1,000, you get on the banner and, but so somebody asked me, did you ask me? Somebody sent me an email and said, what does it take to be on the banner? And I was thinking, well, we can't put everybody's name on here for $1,000 because it would be so filled up, you wouldn't be able to read anything
Yeah.
from any kind of distance. So I said, well, if somebody wants their name on, like they donate to your fundraising goal, so it's going towards the water. See, this doesn't go towards water. This goes for expenses. If we can get enough big donors, we can we'll be able to send every penny we get from the donors, not big corporate type donors. We can send see, right now we send about 94% of what we get into Child Legacy because we have expenses. We have website. We don't have any employees, but we have insurance for the board of directors. We have the website, and we have Classy, the fundraising platform. I mean, those are the main ones, right? And
Hopefully by the end of this year, we're gonna have a good idea of what our actual expense, it's gonna be around 30 grand probably.
yeah.
So we're probably like, what, 15 more?
Yeah, so if we had 30 grand in donations from these kind of partners, then we can say 100% goes to Child Legacy.
Yeah,
Which
or
that's-
we're gonna, the
that's my
idea,
goal to do that.
yeah, we can really hammer the social media stuff.
Yeah.
'Cause that's the one thing we have been doing, and that's why we've been having this fall off of climbers.
Mhm.
So we really wanna go out and go after, people to join our clients, and that'll be the kind of next level of our fundraising, really. I think we can really grow this organization, we just gotta get. But we need enough corporate sponsors to help us fund that kind of outreach, cause it's
So
not
what
cheap,
what is a corporate sponsor looking, how much would they have to invest?
$1,000, right?
$1,000, yeah, to me, corporate, that's.
So average
It goes
Joe,
on everything.
Amy Micken,
Not just
future
banner.
comedian's not gonna go on there.
Yeah, cause you.
If I gave it
even at
$1,000.
M3, they were on different things,
They were-
not just the.
They were at the M3 conference, we
It's
put
on
on
everything.
everything.
That's
Sure,
cool.
so.
Okay, so
To me, that's a.
you told everybody about
It's really
self-funding, you
smart.
told everybody about teammates and who you're going with. You told them about, the website where they can donate. Told them about Child Legacy. I would include maybe a map. So this will be in the folder of digital supplies that I can give you besides pictures, but the map is really important. So here, let me pass these out. I don't think I passed these out yet. So this is my very
There's
first.
handouts for this.
This is my very first fundraising letter in 2011. So, if you're doing this for the first time, you'd be thinking about, hey, first time fundraising letter.
Nice.
I'll just look at Mike's, but
I plagiarized it.
if you go to, if you go to our website, there's all kinds of resources. Let me go back. So
Is this
let me,
yours?
let me show you where those
Just
are.
take his, give it to ChatGPT and it'll write you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, cause I remember writing.
Why do you keep
The
referring
resources
to
down at the
this as a
bottom.
man?
No, they're not.
God.
Okay, I gotta go different. I gotta go back further. Bill,
Yeah.
how do I get to resources on Clean Water Climb again?
You've already
It's
seen
go
it.
to our website. And then,
This one?
no, the website.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Sorry. Yeah, you click, if you're on the
No, no,
fundraising.
no. You gotta go, cleanwaterclimb.org. Yeah, you're at our subsite.
Mike, just so you know, I have about 5 more minutes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Oh, no, sorry. Just go ahead and type clean water.
Such good info.
Type clean water.
We just need to plan it.
There
Retreat.
you go, hit return.
Yeah.
Okay, scroll down in the resources.
Okay, so you go to the main page and go to meet
No, the link's down at the bottom.
resources. So at the very bottom, there's all these quick links, resources page. Gets you all kinds of stuff. Key goals of the Clean Water Climb, frequently asked questions, where do we stay, child legacy, how to contact us, Africa preparation, stories we share in Malawi, preparing for your hike, all this stuff is in here. I think there's just scroll through it, you'll see there's all kinds of good stuff. Community partners, Kilimanjaro climbers, anyway, there's a ton of stuff. Let me get back on track with this. So tell people what your goal is, come up with a goal. We'd like everybody to raise, I mean, if you raise enough for 3 wells, that's $4,800. So if you think that's easy, set that, I mean, not that easy, set that. I would say make that a minimum. But if you have a big network, you know your network better than anybody. Maybe set your goal higher. I mean, I've been doing this for 15 years.
So the deal also, if they're gonna donate to us, we're gonna put a link in to go to the website itself, to our specific.
Yeah.
Your page.
To my page.
To your page.
It's not like somebody's gonna say, hey, well, I'll just send you a check for $50. Or if I do it on Facebook, sometimes Facebook, I guess you can put the link on Facebook
Yes,
itself,
yes.
and it'll take.
It looks really good when you put
Um,
your page link in there.
And if somebody doesn't like Facebook and they don't want to do it online, they can give you a check for Clean Water Climb
Right.
Inc. and just get it to me, at our next meeting, or send it in the mail, or we'll meet somewhere.
And one other question for
Yeah.
Nicole, as far as for the check itself for the 1,900 or whatever else.
Yeah.
Can we sell that to you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could do that. Yeah, and it's Mike at cleanwaterclimb.org.
The main thing is it goes into our fund, then
Yeah.
you could put tax write-off.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but
Well-
the standard deduction so much now. I don't, you know what I mean? It's almost like, I mean.
Well, yeah, and then if I
Besides, but it's-
and if I get that from you, then I make some kind of a copy, I document it, and I send it to our CPA, so he knows that this, that you get a tax deduction at the end of the year, receipt.
Okay, and also, Mike, so sometimes they just ask me for your phone number if I sell somebody something, so.
Well, if you Zelle to my personal mobile number, it goes to my personal account.
Okay.
And so that's why we came up with
Which
this other
do you
number.
prefer, like?
The business account, Zelle, is Mike at cleanwaterclimb.org.
Okay, I just want to make sure, Mike, and it's gonna be at.
Yeah, at Clean Water Climb. And then to reach your goal. So I put in here, first of all, your goal, 4,800 would be a minimum. Maybe start with 4 wells, 6,400. If you have a big network, you can set a big goal. You can always up your goal too. If you make your goal early, like 2 or 3 months before the trip, definitely up your goal and say, hey, the response has been so good. People are wanting to give to this. I'm going to increase my goal by 1 more well or whatever. And what does it take to make your goal? Hey, I need this many $1,000 donations. I need this many $500 donations. I do that every time I send out and you can see it in my fundraising letter, the very first one. I did it from day one. I've done that. And that way people look at it and go, well, I can afford $50. That's going to be, that will help him make his goal. He needs, $150 donors or whatever. When people see that, they go, I can do that. Otherwise they don't have a good feel. Leverage. If you are able to match donations, like even something small, like, hey, I'm going to match with 10 cents on every dollar that's given to me. Or if you can do dollar for dollar, fantastic. But people like to see people when they leverage. Beneficiaries, tell people on average, each well benefits about 1,500 people. Statistics, look at the water, the facts. Did I? Here, pass this one out now. Okay, water the facts. And I'm gonna send you all this stuff, Dudley. Thanks for hanging in there. Looks like you're not sleeping. That's really good. Okay, well report.
Hannah sleeping?
So I'm just,
We'll never know.
Right.
Hannah, you sleeping?
If she's driving and
You're
sleeping,
not
we're all
responding.
in trouble.
okay, so in 2021, Clean Water Climb reached a milestone. The 3,000th well was.
We're not sleeping. Sorry. Had to say.
Well, it took you a while to wake up.
She was like, I'm not
Like,
like,
wait,
I'm not anymore.
I'm in a bar ditch.
I
So
had to unmute.
we've had over 5,000 unique donors since 2011, and that was in 2021. So the 3,000th well was repaired based on 5,000 generous donors since 2011. Okay, and then in 2022, Child Legacy, who started repairing wells before we ever came along, right? They were already repairing wells. They reached 5,000 wells repaired in 2020 by 2022. And then last year, the 4,000th well, sponsored by Clean Water Climb only, was achieved. And this year, the 6,000th well will have been fixed by Child Legacy. So that
And I want to add too, like, I know one of my neighbors, I just said something about giving and they said, well, what's a well? I said, you know, like for $1,600,
Yeah.
you can have a well for Christmas, you can give a well, you like, and
Yeah.
then you get a report.
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
Right.
Well, and it tells exactly where the
Yeah.
well is, and they signed up.
That is,
Oh,
yeah,
these-
that's amazing.
yeah, these are kind of
Really,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
it's
these
a
are-
nice Christmas gift.
these are kind of unique
Yes.
because it talks about, hey, the accomplishment. But normally, anybody who sponsors a well, $1,600 or more, will get one of these, and it'll say the name of the village, like in this case, Akubakeli Village, when it was repaired. But it doesn't say any of this stuff, right? Or milestone. It just says like the name of the village, and then this information down here. This is the old logo.
Tells how many people came to
Yeah.
Christ.
So this is
and
yeah.
the village.
It'll have pictures of the village, where it's located in Malawi. So here's a picture of where it's located, or it's a map that shows the location. And then there'll be like 11 people decided to follow Jesus. The depth of the well was 30 meters. All kinds of information about it. When was the well drilled? 2012. When was it repaired? 2024. This is what the alternative water source looked like. What kind of problems did the crew find? What kind of improvements were made? And then a little blurb about Child Legacy in general. And here's all the logos. So all the companies, so every person that sponsors a well is going to see all the different
And it's their
organizations.
personal
And-
one.
and so
It's
this-
their
I
personal
love
They get their personal, this is the
Yeah.
personal well report just for them.
So it's gifts, yeah, for the person who has everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I was thinking.
Mike, I don't mean to,
Yeah. So you have all the handouts.
I do.
Feel free to reach out to me at any time, Will, and I hope your foot gets
My
better.
foot,
really soon.
it'll get better
Yeah.
eventually.
Well, what's
Remind
your
it,
Oh,
last
yeah.
Henderson.
Yeah,
forte?
I should have given this out to those other guys that left. So these are patches. If
I'll
you want,
take
if you want to
theirs.
put patches like on your hat and your backpack, take those. Here's pins. This is a wrist thing.
Cool.
Okay, here's a magnet. This will take you directly to the website.
Cool.
It's a refrigerator magnet.
I'm ready to.
Oh, that's fun stuff. That bad? Oh, at least it hit. Okay. Oh, it's like, well, it's not in there. Okay, all right. All right, guys.
Nice
Okay,
meeting
thanks.
you.
Nice meeting you guys.
Thanks,
Wait,
thanks for
Oh,
coming.
where's Tana? Where's Tana?
She's the little purple blob.
She's a purple
there.
Is
blob.
that her right over there?
Yeah, this is
Look at
her.
Yeah.
Get in real close to the
Hey, beauty.
camera.
Goodbye.
Stop making me
Where's
unmute.
your,
It's
where's
a
your
lot
web
work.
camera?
Okay, yeah, hold on.
Where's the
Yeah,
webcam?
let me see.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
get right up in her face.
Oh, yeah, you're looking at her now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Will. Thanks for making the trip up
All
here.
right.
Appreciate it. We'll probably do another meeting in like early January. How does the first Saturday or the second Saturday of January sound?
Probably the first Saturday, is better. What wait a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about preparing for Africa.
Play college.
Yeah.
press.
I'll be able to be there, Mike. I just will have to be via Zoom because I'll be in Florida.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
So you can read the rest of this. You know, I talk about fundraising letter, emails, social media, face to face, do something crazy. There's my crazy. There's my crazy. Create your fundraising page. You go to the. Does that work?
He did it at work.
Oh, he did it.
Yeah. Hilarious. But
Oh yeah, so that works. Yeah, that link works. It takes you to this to become a fundraiser. All right, that's what I wanted to check. Want to make sure it still works. Always thank people.
Year at a time.
You know, a quick email, thank you is great, and then a comprehensive email when you get back, not an email, but actually maybe a hard copy.
Yeah.
Something. I always send out I used to do both. I used to do a hard copy print thank you in the mail and a Christmas card that's related to the Clean Water Climb. Now I just do the Christmas card. I just don't have time anymore. But, and this is what I was trying to wrestle with. 31% of giving occurs in December in America, and 12% just the last 3 days.
Hey,
It's we need to figure out
so
somewhere,
as just an organization, we can do it.
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, you-
Giving Tuesday and all.
You could
Yeah, Thanksgiving, that Giving Tuesday.
Yeah,
You know, I've been
yeah.
through some of that.
Yeah, you just take advantage of all these things that are
Of
already
course.
in place and people are thinking about
But of
it.
course, these folks will be still fundraising December 31st of next year. So that's how they can,
Yes.
I mean, you're done with the trip, and frankly, the history is for somebody that's doing it the first time, you don't get many donations after the trip's over. They always tend to come in first. But if you haven't made your goal, you could still remind people you went on the trip, and then by December, maybe people are still, you know, they're still looking for something to give to
Yeah.
for their taxes purposes. So,
Even during the trip, is that really?
oh yeah. If you can somehow communicate outside. So anyway, that was pretty much. I mean, fundraising was the last topic.
Nice.
But feel free to read this stuff in more detail, and reach out to me with any questions. I'm looking down here. Stephanie, are you still thinking about trip 1, or are you thinking about maybe trip 2? Because right now it seems like everybody wants to go on trip 2.
Yeah, the longer trip, I
Yeah.
think is what we
Yeah,
discussed.
yeah.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah, I think
Nice.
fun with the safari.
Yeah,
better
the better safari, and then Monkey Day, and you get all the
Yeah, no.
all the days.
I think,
Better
yeah,
food.
I think why don't we do
Foot
that? I mean, if I get a big group of people that want to do the first trip, I'll let you know. But right now, everybody always wants to do
Yeah.
the longer ones.
That's what it was this year, wasn't
I mean, if you're
Yeah.
gonna go.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta go big.
Go
And the
big.
only reason I created that shorter trip was just for people that just
Yeah.
can't be on that long.
It's a long time.
Yeah, the route's different.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna fire out of here.
Okay,
You have to go.
yes.
You want to sing?
I'm happy to sing, but I know people are gonna
Yeah,
go,
people
so
have
it
to
might
go.
just be you and me.
Yeah, feel
Sing
free to
another
take
time.
anything. Yeah, she brought her guitar and she was going to sing a song for us.
Well, we could just do one song that,
Here.
Want to do one song? You have time, Sarah, to do one song?
one
One song.
on
okay.
YouTube. I'm not even get the guitar out. I'm gonna send you a link. Can
Oh.
you just pull it up there?
Okay, yes. You
Right.
texting me or email
I'm
me?
gonna give me 1 second.
So are you gonna go on the second, you're gonna go with them?
I can't go this year unless God says,
Are you sure?
dude, no, I'm not sure of anything.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna
I'm
pray
sure of the
for
fact-
you
yeah.
and your husband.
Well, me and my husband, that my job would change so that I don't have to beg
By the
for
way,
time off. Like,
we had someone bring their guitar and play in the building.
I know.
And
We've
it's
never-
huge hits.
We've never
I've
had
heard that
anybody bring a
they've never
guitar
done
on the hike. And I told her I had this vision of her leading us in a worship song on the summit.
Oh my God.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
Heartbeat.
I would do it this summer if God makes it possible, which I think is,
I have that vision. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I have a vision because she wants to go, sooner or later, whatever. And
but things have to fall in place.
I don't know. We were. It was last weekend or the weekend before in church. All of a sudden, we were singing in worship, and I saw.
Please come. Please come.
Okay, for you in that cute little dress. I will come.
Yay. I love your spirit.
I love yours.
Did you?
We'll talk
did you
later.
text me or?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I did.
I wonder.
So I'm just gonna say while he's pulling that up, I just want you to say after me.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna have to email me.
Viumbe viote, just say after me. Viumbe viote,
You may be okay.
via mungu wetu, via mungu wetu. Don't worry, the words will be up on the screen. Don't you
Okay.
just talk amongst
But I'm not
yourself.
seeing your text. Oh, there it is. Okay. You don't.
Via mungu wetu. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you pronounce it correct or not. Na. Oh my
No.
gosh, do you not trust me? It's
No.
cussing. It's Swahili.
Because
Because we need this on the
He
trip.
says it's gonna.
Na
No.
mafalme wetu.
Wait.
Okay, that's mostly the whole song. The things that were playing as the ad before, I'm like.
I'm talking about my love him.
Yeah.
Right.
So all the words are gonna be up here. We're just gonna follow what's in the parentheses.
Hey, I'm just playing.
I don't think your friends online can see it, but
She just sent this to me. This must be.
no, but there's an ad, just.
That's just a pretty ad.
It'll say skip something.
Yeah, here, is it, can I touch corner?
How do we skip it?
No, yeah, it's right, I can see it.
Right, bottom right.
Mix, oh, Sophine, it's right up here. Where's this?
Oh. But it says play all.
Right, and it's probably just doing an ad because they need money,
Here we go.
as we all do. Jennifer, you should hobble in here and get in on this.
Okay.
But I just happen to, I've known this song since I was a young baby Christian at the University of Illinois, Chicago,
But why isn't anything?
by a group,
what
an
is-
a cappella group called First Call. And it's in Swahili,
Yes.
the language of Tanzania. And it's a familiar hymn, but it's also African rhythms and easy words that,
Oh, it's.
yeah,
okay, it's
it,
going.
crickets.
I just need to turn this up.
That's just your intrusive thoughts. Oh no, it's crickets as part of the song. So it's like 30 seconds of crickets, 15, 14.
Puts you right there in the,
It might be loud, it's fine.
puts you right there
Yeah.
in the village.
Can they see your screen?
Yeah.
on the
Yes.
screen? That's fantastic. They're coming in a minute. Okay, ready? It's just phonetic.
This is Swahili, isn't it?
Yeah. I swear it's hard.
Ya Mungu wetu na mfalme wetu,
Again.
viumbe vyote vya Mungu wetu na mfalme wetu,
Pazeni.
zeni sauti ili nasi mwimbe.
It's the same thing again.
Zeni sauti ili nasi mwimbe.
Now we get a little beat, just a little rhythm. Where's your gourd, Mike?
Viumbe vyote
Awaya.
yote siku Mungu
Don't be afraid. Come on, Bill.
watu wote viumbe
This
vyote
is participatory.
yote siku Mungu.
All the riches of our God and King.
Oh, siku Mungu.
Yeah, play.
Lift up your voice and with us sing.
Oh, siku Mungu.
Why so soft?
Everybody, praise the Lord. Amen. All creatures, everybody, praise the Lord.
Now you can just do the
Now
echo.
you with that heart so strong.
Yeah.
You thought to sail in heaven alone.
In Benny.
In bed, in bed.
Here's the chorus.
Viumbe vyote vya Mungu wetu na mfalme wetu, pazeni sauti ili nasi mwimbe, pazeni sauti ili nasi mwimbe. Amen. All creatures, everybody, praise the Lord. Amen. All creatures, everybody, praise the Lord. Now this is different. It's beautiful, I'm going to hear. Just one like my king bang. And tell us man goes forth and I'm ready.
Chorus. Passei saúde, passei saúde. Creator bless and worship him in humbleness. Praise the Father, praise the Son, and praise the Spirit, three in one. Everybody, praise the Lord. Again.
Zero memory. Secret, the $1 billion.
I learned that song when I was like 21 years old, 20 years old. Which was like 38
That would
years
be
ago.
one of the
So,
songs that you.
for such a time. As
That was surprising. Those guys would be so surprised if they showed up.
Yeah.
All of that, they'd be like,
Yeah,
So that's what we'd sing at the start.
yes,
And then there's another
and
one.
they don't know about it.
Yeah, but they don't know about it, but we need to practice it ahead of time.
with some dancing that's like similar, not just us being. But you
They
know,
probably know that song, right?
they might, I mean,
Bet you they do.
First Call was huge back in
They
the
do.
90s,
Bet you.
but who knows?
Yeah,
Because
they
it's
probably know it. Yeah, I was gonna say, cause they just start
It's
singing.
literally,
singing.
it's 3 decades old, that song.
Okay, everybody. It was
So good to
great.
meet you. I friended you on Facebook.
Fine. So we'll see you.
Thanks,
I'm taking extra swag.
Bye. Thanks, Mike. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Tana.
Bye.
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 Bye. See Bill Schuster? I hate sewing patches, but I sewed it on my water.
Can I play another song for you really quick?
Yeah.
It's a little different. Let me search for it. So how do you search for something? Okay, right here.
You go in this
Girl
search
type?
bar and you type
Yeah.
word. So good to meet you, Miss Stephanie.
Have you guys heard this song?
Pleasure.
I am.
You learned
need
on
to do
Facebook?
better. I
No,
need
no,
to do
there's
better.
there's no good or bad.
Yeah, no,
I'm on the top of Kilimanjaro.
This is a song I want to sing on top of Kilimanjaro.
Those drums.
This guy was from South Africa and he's sitting on top of Kilimanjaro.
Oh my God, it's excellent. And nobody's right. Seasons keep on turning.
He passed away recently.
Really? That's what you keep on fighting. I would not be fighting. You're the last song. I want to see on the top of Kilimanjaro. See you tomorrow. I see on the top of Kilimanjaro. That's our like the one. Oh, and then you know, strange. Oh, we're gonna dance to this song inside.
Sitting on top of Kilimanjaro song on YouTube.
Yeah. You're not coming out. I just need. You can I'm gonna send you. Tomorrow.
Like you do tomorrow. Like, kind of gets you a lot of fun, right? Yeah. I think he wrote this in the 80s. Really? Yeah. Good luck, Jerry. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to cut all this out before you upload the.
Oh.
On the copyright. Right?
Oh, this move.
This is not the meeting on. I guess you have to go to.
Well, they just may say. Sometimes you can put copyrighted songs out there and they, but the only time they rejected one of mine was when I had a good song. Beatles have everything, they just don't.
From the background.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, this is hard to do. I don't know, yeah. Oh, it's a feeling off.
Yeah.
So the day, it's obviously licensing or filming on Kilimanjaro. Do we know if he video was on?
No, I don't think,
He's on a junkyard.
I'm not sure he was ever on Kilimanjaro.
There's actually on a junkyard.
I'd have to, so it's Johnny Clegg and then that group that he's from South Africa, Jaluka, that was the background people, playing the music instruments. Yeah, but anyway, I know somebody told me about that song a long time ago, and I thought, wow, that is cool,
That is cool.
yeah.
That could be like a lead in on
I'm a little
It's-
nervous because I have no
your
clue
face,
what's up
your
there.
webpage on your website. You could have that song, play a little bit of it when anytime someone clicks on the website.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can,
Well, I don't.
I don't know if you can get away with
Yeah.
baby,
Probably could.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,